What's going on, good people? We're back, and we're doing fantasy football rankings, and we're doing fantasy football quarterbacks. So buckle up, get ready, file on in, leave a thumbs up at the door here. Wipe your feet, for goodness sake. We are literally 10 subscribers away from 17K, and if we're on the live stream and we get 17K while live, I'll change that number behind me live and on air. File on in. Appreciate every single one of you. Joseph was first in the building. Joseph. Zachary Hugh is second in the building. Michael Payne. I'll see you all in 3 minutes. So get ready. Buckle up.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al...
I don't really understand what's so difficult here. And now Marcus Andrews to the front stage. Schmidt.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? Sorry about that little mishap at the front there. We are doing fantasy football quarterback rankings. We're doing it live. We're going to be talking about more than just quarterbacks tonight, but I thought we would do a hardcore session on quarterbacks. So if you do me the honor of asking me merely quarterback questions at the beginning of this show, rather than ask me about anything else, I would appreciate it, so we can kind of stay on topic and try and create some focused value here on this show. As soon as we get through that, for the first like 10, 15 minutes of this segment, we can open it up to whatever. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll do it live. But I would love to focus on merely quarterbacks at this point in time. Maybe you get creative, and if you want to talk about Tony, you say something like, "Hey, Smitty, How do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to do with Tony? Do you think he feeds Tony a bunch? Get creative. We're going to dig into it. Any super chats you got, drop them. And smash that thumbs up on your way in the door. Appreciate you all being here. All right, so let's get to the questions. I'm going to answer all the voice messages as well. So those are left before the show began. So those may not include quarterback questions. But please do your best to try and keep quarterbacks on your mind out the gate here, okay? Tyler.
Smitty, can you give me a few different players that you're willing to trade Debo for?
So let's try and incorporate quarterbacks into this question. So Debo, if let's say you are struggling at quarterback, you know what I'm saying? If you're struggling, let's just put these on. I was going to move these, but I might as well just put them on. These are my blue light blocking glasses, so don't make fun of me. If you need a quarterback, Debo's the perfect player to give with your quarterback to go get a Josh Allen who's got the elbow issue that people worry about. Go get Fields if someone's got Fields and Burrow. They've got Josh Allen and Fields. They got Jalen Hurts and Fields. You could go get a Jalen Hurts using Debo, you know, and so that's one player I would throw out, Tyler. If you're trying to go across position to like running back, Debo's not going to get you much more than a Stevenson, maybe a Pierce if you're lucky. I don't think you're going to get anything above that. You could certainly try. Why not shoot for the moon? Aaron Jones is kind of a risky cross-position player to go get. I like Mark Andrews if you're going to go for wide receiver. St. Brown might be a downgrade, quote-unquote downgrade that I'd actually rather have St. Brown in a heartbeat. CeeDee Lamb obviously might be an upgrade or downgrade depending on who you talk to. Mike Evans might be a lateral sidestep. Maybe you got to give up a little more to get into these vehicles, these safer vehicles than Debo Samuel. So that's the answer to that question right there. Then we got another one from Tyler. Tyler.
Smitty!
Whoa.
Are you starting Deontay Foreman or Chris Olave in my
Bro,
spot this
bro.
week?
Bro, it's literally 1:13 p.m. Eastern.
Let me know.
Hold on, let's.
No. Deontay Foreman or Chris Olave in my flex spot this week. Let me know. Thank you, man.
I mean, Foreman's may be safer because you know the volume will be there. Olave's got higher risk, but maybe higher reward in some sense. But at the same time, like Foreman had a dud game in between monster games, right? But you know, the question is, do you want to roll with it? Let's go back to quarterbacks. Okay, this is a quarterback show, kind of. Who's tossing the pigskin to Olave? You know, I mean, we do need a quarterback change potentially, and one we believe in to really feel comfortable with Olave catching the football consistently. So I probably roll with, in PPR, I probably roll with Olave. But Foreman's safer. Olave's higher risk, higher rewards, depending on what you need. And then, Tyler, I have one more.
One more question. It might sound stupid, but with Devontae's injury and his matchup with Patrick Surtain on the Broncos, is there any chance that you actually start, instead of Devontae, you start Chris Olave and then throw Foreman into my flex? That'd be CeeDee, Olave, and Foreman instead of CeeDee, Devontae, and a flex. Thanks, man.
My answer to that is Cameron.
Smitty, thoughts on the trade? I get Joe Burrow, Tony Pollard, Pat Freiermuth, and I give up Paris Campbell, Jeff Wilson, and Lamar.
I gotta hear that again. This involves quarterbacks.
Smitty, thoughts on the trade? I get Joe Burrow, Tony Pollard, Pat Freiermuth, and I give up Paris Campbell, Jeff Wilson, and Lamar.
I'd rather take Lamar and Jeff Wilson because Jeff Wilson feels like the second best player in the deal, and Lamar and Burrow could be a push if you wanted to argue that. So I'm going to go ahead and say smash the Lamar side and do it live. It just feels like, it just feels safer, bro. It just feels safer, bottom line. I don't know if we have any more, nothing from the exclusive IG community. I appreciate you guys dropping those. We've got several super chats here. This one's from Jim.
Hey, Smitty, if you don't get to this before the kickoff tonight, then...
Oh, that's old. I'm sorry. Thanks, Jim. Sorry about that, man. Josh.
Hey,
Silver.
Smitty, it's Silver. Hey, man, help me out with 2 wide receivers here. I got Gabe Davis, I got Darnell Mooney, Alan Lazard, and Christian Watson. I was kind of thinking about going.
That was before the game too. Let me see if I can get to any.
Points out of 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my bad. I think I missed all those. Okay, so here's another from Jim.
Smitty, what do you think? Are we buying Christian Watson rest of the season, or are you trying to sell high while his value has never been higher?
So this is after the game. And we'll mix in Aaron Rodgers since this is a QB show, right? I mean, I'm selling him. I get it, guys. He looks good. He's catching touchdowns. I mean, he's a touchdown machine right now. He's an absolute touchdown machine. But this guy's got a big drop rate, on the course of his entire football career. I'm not saying Adams doesn't drop footballs or there isn't reasons to be like, who cares about drop rate when you're getting force fed from Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying, am I selling high? I certainly will attempt to. I'll attempt to all day long. I feel like he's a great add-in player, an additive, an accoutrement, if you will, into a 1-for-1 where you're upgrading your player into the best player in the deal. So, example, you go from a good quarterback into Jalen Hurts by throwing in Watson, to go from a so-so running back into a level up, like you're going to go get a so-so running back, turn it into Stevenson. Or you're going to turn a Stevenson into an Etienne or a Walker. Or you're going to turn an Aaron Jones into an Etienne or a Walker. Not going to be that easy to use Watson that way, but there are some people that are completely knee-jerk reacting people that will want Watson and think Watson's the next Jamar Chase or something because of the last 2 games he's had. Now, more realistic trades would be Freiermuth into Mark Andrews using Watson. Another player similar to that, like a Schultz into a Mark Andrews. Maybe a DK Metcalf into a Lamb using Watson. Maybe something along those lines. Mike Evans from a lower player. That's how I use Christian Watson, and I do use him immediately in those types of deals. Daniel.
Hey, Schmitty. It's your boy, Daniel.
Daniel.
I just had a question for you. Half PPR, 2 flexes, looking to make a trade. Would you trade Deebo Samuel for DeAndre Swift? It would kind of thin out my wide receiver room. My other wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Chris Olave, and my other backs are Kenneth Walker, Christian McCaffrey, Najee Harris. Let me know your thoughts on that, man. 2 flexes, looking to make a trade. Would you trade Deebo Samuel for DeAndre Swift?
I don't know. What does the chat think on that? Deebo and Swift, both players that we're worried about right now. What do people think on this? What do people think about Deebo versus Swift? Swift versus Deebo. Let's say you needed a running back. Is it something you want to do? Let's say you needed a wide receiver. Is it something you want to do on the flip side? Are they equals? Are they very much in the same boat? Very, very high risk, very high reward for both of them in an equal fashion. Is it position dependency that makes you go one way or the other? I kind of feel that way. Kind of feel like if I needed an RB really, really bad, I go Swift. If I have Deebo. I trade Deebo for Swift. If I need a wide receiver really, really bad, I probably give Swift up for Deebo. So I think it goes both ways. Nady says, I need help, Smitty, Brandon Cooks, or Nico. Neither, but probably Cooks, bro. Probably Cooks. I'll get the super chats in 1 second. Let's play this. Let's go into, that's voicemail group number 1. Let's go into voicemail group number 2. Michael Payne.
Hey, Smitty, do you start Jalen Warren or Elijah Mitchell?
Probably go Mitchell for right now. Guarantee more work.
Yo, Smitty, what's up? Belichick yourself here. Rate my team if you don't mind. I was thinking about making some trades, but I got Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown,
Hurts, Brown,
Stephon Diggs. I have Saquon Barkley, Singletary, Freiermuth, Cortland Sutton, and Deontay Johnson as my starters.
Yeah.
I got Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs. I have Saquon Barkley.
It's good.
Singletary, Freiermuth, Cortland Sutton, and Deontay Johnson.
So Singletary the one thing, you don't really have a lot of maneuverability at that Singletary spot, but if you were to trade Freiermuth to a very tight end needy team and you go rogue at tight end, then maybe you can end up getting yourself into a little bit of an upgrade like Stevenson. I feel like Stevenson, like even in the comments I saw somebody say when I said you could trade a so-so running back into Stevenson, I believe it was it Trone? Trone said, but Stevenson is a so-so running back. And I'm not clowning on Trone, he's my boy. I think it was Trone. I apologize if I'm remembering the wrong name. But that goes to show that you could get Stevenson. That's why I'm bringing that up. Not because he's wrong or I'm wrong or he's right or I'm right. It could go either way. But I think he's an attainable running back is what I'm trying to emphasize here. And if you go ahead and trade Singletary for him, I'd rather have Stevenson. Singletary's not bad, but you do that move when you're back, bro. You're back. Michael.
Hey, Smitty, are we worried about Taysom Hill at all? He hasn't done much the last few games, and the last couple, the backup Johnson has a touchdown per game and is scoring more points than he is. Just wanted to know your feed.
Yeah, for now, stand down on Taysom. I mean, look, he was great for a moment, and I think he could return to that, but until he does, we can stand down. I mean, do I hold him? It depends on the situation. Ron Navy.
Don't go be giving all the love to just Henry and Christian Watson. I mean, Hooper had almost as much yardage as Christian Watson and had 2 touchdowns also. And don't forget about the other rookie, Treylon Burks, who had 7 receptions for 111 yards. Granted, he had no touchdowns, but still, that is pretty massive, over a 15-yard average per catch.
Yeah, Ron Navy, he's always there to remind you who you need to talk about. Ron, are you there? Ron, would Ron Navy please report to the stage? Burks had a good day. He's worth picking up. I don't know how consistent he'll be, but I know he'll look good.
Smitty, would you trade Chase and Rachaad White for Hopkins? I'm 5-5.
What do you guys think on that, Chase? I'd rather have Chase and Rachaad White. I feel like you could, in a week, I don't know if your trade deadline is like this weekend or tomorrow. If it's not, I would hold off. And I would try and hold off because I feel like Rachaad White might be able to get you something massive in a week from now. Although he's on a bye week, so you're going to have to wait another week for him to deliver to get, I don't know. That's a tough one. If anybody, what do you guys think on that one? Hopkins, or would you rather have Rachaad White and Chase at 5-5? At 5-5. You got to understand he's at 5-5. He may not make the playoffs if he doesn't make a move. Can't you leave out Rachaad White? I don't know. Is he getting him? I forget. Is he getting him?
Smitty, would you trade Chase
and
Rachaad White for Hopkins?
Try and do Chase for Hopkins, man. Don't give Rachaad White as well. I don't like that. I don't like doing both. TM.
Wilson as a QB2 in Superflex.
Wilson as a QB2 in Superflex. Wilson, I assume you mean Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson, because Zach Wilson, I mean, I don't know which one is the real Wilson now. They're both kind of quarterbacks I want nothing to do with, but in Superflex it's a little different story. They're okay. Either one's okay. I mean, I like Russell Wilson more than Zach Wilson, but do I like Wilson as a Superflex second QB? I don't want it. I feel like he's capable of in like that 8-point game. Sure, he could have a big game here or there. I don't trust Denver. I don't trust Russell Wilson. I don't trust Hackett. I don't trust really anything about that situation. So for me, I'd rather get out of it. I don't know what other options you have, but like in a super flex, like you can't complain about Russell Wilson as your second quarterback in most cases. So it's not bad. I would make sure Deshaun Watson isn't, there. He probably is not. I highly doubt he's there. But, it's definitely a tough spot to be in when you have to trust in Russell Wilson. All right. So, He means Zach Wilson. Then I don't. I mean, he's okay. No, he's not. He's not great. He's an okay super flex. Trevor Lawrence is better. There's a handful of quarterbacks that are going to be much safer options right around that territory. So if you have another option, let me know. Or if you have ability to trade for somebody. But super flex is tough because they're kind of stuck with your second quarterback. Not a lot of people trade quarterbacks in super flex. So you need to tackle this in the draft. If you don't tackle your super flex position in the draft, you're most likely stuck with it all year long. Very rarely do people trade quarterbacks in a super flex league. It's just unless they got 3 or 4 of them. So you could go looking at the teams that have 3 or 4 and see if there's a potential buy situation. But past that, good luck getting a quarterback at this stage in the game. Appreciate you all for asking questions. That was the first 20 minutes of the segment. If anybody's watching from voicemail group number 1, voicemail group number 2, or from my exclusive Instagram subscriber group, if you want to be able to ask questions going forward, you have to join the IG subscription that I have on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram and you click on my profile, you will see a subscription button, subscriber subscriptions. You click that for $4.99 a month. You can get an exclusive chat group, cancel anytime. It's all done safe and secure on IG for $4.99. You can be in an exclusive chat group where I chime in throughout the day. And especially during the off season, I'm going to have a whole lot more time too. So we can do a lot of trades, a lot of draft prep stuff, but I chime in there. And then also I go there for the voice messages. If you leave a voice message, I will play it on the show. Someone asked a question up above, and then I try and leave voice messages for the show. I will play them on the show. I will answer your questions on the show. That's what this exclusive IG membership is really going to be geared toward. I'll try and check in and chat with you guys inside the chat when I can, but it is really geared to have you take advantage of being on the show on the daily with the voice message. All right, now I'm going to hit the live chat and the super chats, and please keep it to quarterbacks only. If you super chat, obviously I'm going to answer your question no matter what, but let's try and keep it to quarterbacks for the next 5 or 10 minutes, then we'll open it up to everything else. So if you ask a question in the actual chat, you're not super chatting, make sure it is a quarterback question unless it's a super chat. Should I pick up Dobbs for rest of season? He's on waivers. I can't really answer this, Castro, unless you give me the alternatives. You know what I mean? Like Dobbs is okay, but like what else can you do? You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to have Dobbs if there's a better alternative. Tony's been sitting out there. Try to trade Sanders and Henderson for Gibby and Wilson. I'd probably say I'd rather have Wilson. Try and trade Sanders and Henderson. I'd rather have Jeff Wilson than Sanders. I know Sanders had been playing well and then since kind of dropped off a little bit, but I would say give me Jeff Wilson. He's looking like fire right now, and there's no reason to think that's going to change unless he gets hurt, which is a concern. But at this point, I'm not worried about it. We're walking into week number 11. I'm not too worried about trying to avoid injured players at this point. Thanks for the help each week, Smitty. Mexican Coke on me. 17K. Here we come. TMT. $20 holler. Appreciate you, TMT. TMT. Dropping 20s. Appreciate you, TMT. We are 10 subscribers away. 9 subscribers away from 17K. So if you're watching, if you're one of 142, I'm surprised we only have 142 people in here. I got in here a little late tonight, so I apologize on that. But if you're one of 142 people that have not hit subscribe yet, you can be a reason why this show goes to 17K and we can celebrate together here on the show. So punch it if you're new. Thank you, TMT, for dropping the 20 wad right on the screen. Next super chat's from Sam, $4.99 holler, and from the live chat, I'm gonna do my best to try and answer everybody. Lamar Fields rest of season, probably Fields, but they're like 4 and 5 to me, you know, or 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 or whatever. They're back to back. Like Lamar could get there. QB question: what about Deshaun Watson? Watson's a great hold right now as your second quarterback, and if you're desperate at quarterback, he's a great hold and potential starter for you eventually. Gabe Davis in your league, go pick up Gabe Davis. Tony or Garrett, go Tony. It's got to be a quarterback question, Joseph. Avi think Hopkins drops maybe even out of the top 10, says Travis. He's asking Avi. Drop a like in the stream, says KCM. Appreciate that. Guys, quarterback questions for the next 5 or 10 minutes only. I'm not going to answer any. I'm going to go to the live chat to answer questions, but if it's a quarterback question, I'm not doing it. And if it's not a quarterback question, I'm not doing it. Looks like that boy dropped 5 gifted memberships going to Mark B. Shanavelli. Sorry if it's really far away for this particular screen, so I'm trying to read it. Oscar, Joe, and R something. It's too far away for me to see. That boy dropping 5 memberships. For those that don't, first of all, that boy, thank you for doing that, my guy. What a dude. What a dude. If anybody doesn't know what a YouTube exclusive membership is, there's the $1.99 and the $9.99 plans. And this man, right in front of your face, that boy just gifted 5 of the $1.99 memberships. I'm not sure if it gives it for a month or 2 or whatever, to 5 different people. And those individuals on Sunday morning can now, for the next 4 weeks, join me the last half hour leading into kickoff of the morning games and get your question answered, because I only answer questions with green names from the YouTube exclusive membership group. And so you get to enjoy that feature. If you do join the $9.99 plan, anybody, you can get on the Zoom calls, 2 Zoom calls every Sunday, one at halftime of the morning games, one at halftime of the Sunday evening game. So just know the difference between those 2 plans. But you get the green name and all the emojis if you join either plan. Good time to buy low on Herbie. Yes, Mr. TD, it is. We'll see now. Didn't also say CD would not be top 10 wide receiver, Avi, says Travis. Okay, let's see here. What about Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts is like 3 or 4. Travis. Sam gifted 5 memberships as well. That boy and Sam doing work tonight. The recipients were Jacoby Green, Jack Middleton, Sean O, Logic, Kirk. You guys all were given memberships by Sammy boy. Sammy, appreciate you. Sam to the moon, that boy to the moon. Fitzy 0623, what's up, my guy? Fantasy Dad, giving a round of applause. Travis. Got him, says Sam. You know what, Sam, I appreciate you telling me that. That's always remind me that you told me to do this, but so I can give you credit. But whenever someone drops a gifted membership, we got to play the got him. Sam and that boy. Got him. Got him with the memberships is what he did. Sam just came in and just forced it on 5 people. He said, you get a membership. You don't get a choice. You get a membership. You get a membership. I'm just giving them out. Got him. All right. Sam, 7-3. Would you trade Debo and Swift for Diggs? Debo, Swift for Diggs. This is a tough one. Can I go to the chat for this one? I want to phone a friend. This one's tough because I mean Diggs is the best player in the deal. We don't know what Debo is anymore. He might in 2 weeks we might look at Debo like we look at Swift now. So what I'm basically telling you is there's 2 Swifts in this deal. You're trading Swift number 1 and Swift number 2 for the number 1 or number 2, maybe in a worst case number 3 receiver in fantasy football. Diggs is probably the answer. But let's see what the chat thinks, because I mean this could be nothing. These 2 players could be bounce back candidates or nothing burgers. Diggs by a mile. Diggs. Easy, Sam. Case closed. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
It's so hard to at a glance be like, no, take Diggs. When you're getting 2 monster player names when they're not monsters. You got to accept that. You got to adjust and adapt. It's like Debo's a name. Debo might be the next DeAndre Swift. Hey, Smitty, what do you think about this trade? I'm thinking of trading Goff and Andrews for Lamar and Schultz. Goff and Andrews for Lamar and Schultz. What do you think? I'd rather have Lamar and Schultz, my guy. I love Andrews, but he's injured. And while I love trading for him on the low, this is a move where you're getting two healthy players, and Lamar's by far a better quarterback than Goff by a mile. And Schultz is not that far off from Andrews. I'd much rather have Andrews, but I'm just saying that the difference is not, the discrepancy's different. Avi with a $5 holler says Hill, JJ Diggs playing and Devontae Adams and Hopkins playing in my grandma's league. Chase, St. Brown, AJ Brown. Oh, those are the top. Okay, I thought you were reading off your team. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Who are you playing with? Hill, JJ, Diggs, Devontae Adams, Hopkins, Chase, St. Brown, AJ Brown, Waddle, CD. Top 10 wide receivers rest of season. Running backs are Barkley, Eckler, CMC, Henry, JT, Chubb, ETN, Walker, Cook, AK, or Mixon, AK. Nice, Avi. I appreciate you dropping that. That's it's interesting to see somebody else's running backs, and I respect anybody's take. I don't laugh at anybody's running back rankings or quarterback rankings or any rankings, period. They're rankings, they're predictions, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I never go at anybody for their rankings. I think it's ridiculous. When I drop rankings on IG or YouTube or anywhere, it's so funny to me when somebody comes in and says something like, you can't do that. How can you have him there? JT number 3, have you been watching football? It's like, do people not realize like how quickly things turn around in the NFL? This is not baseball. This is not First of all, we don't watch baseball. I mean, what do you take us for? Baseball is where there's averages. You are your average. You don't change. If you're a 2.75 points per game guy, you're at 2.75 points per game guy. If you're a 7.6 points per game guy, guess what? That's what you score every single week. You play so many games, there's predictability. In football, you can be nothing for 4, 5, 6, 8 straight games, and you can come in for the remainder of the season and be a top 5 player. This is football. Okay, so if Avi says he likes that ranking, Avi says he likes that ranking. We respect it. We bro-fist it out, and that's that. So I love when people come in and they drop their bold take, and then they just mic drop on out of here and deuce. So Avi, keep deucing, bro. Okay, don't listen to anybody else. Full PPR, Burrow or Fields. Give me Fields until Chase comes out, back out onto the field and starts dropping fire. So Burrow, once he has Chase, is back on top for me, but I can understand somebody liking Fields more. Olave or Pickens, give me Olave. I do like Pickens a lot. Hoping Chase gets back for me next week to make a run at the playoffs. They're hopeful. I wouldn't count on it, but they're hopeful. Maybe it works out. Sitting in the 6-4 spot. Robbie, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend, the man they call Robbie. Mark Cleveland with another super chat. Is Elijah Moore worth thinking about moving to slot? Elijah Moore is nothing at the moment. I hate saying that too, because he should have been traded to like Green Bay or the Chargers, where he could have become relevant. And it's frustrating that he's such a talent, but he's wasted right now. So I don't know I don't think he is not worth anything right now. He could develop again because he's so talented. Trade Pierce for Olave. I think I'd rather have Pierce, bro. I'd rather have Pierce. I don't think I'm making that $20 holler. My guy. That's my guy right there. Hernandez. Thank you. My guy. 6-4. PPR. Gave away Higbee and Hurts for Diggs. Higbee and Hurts for Diggs. Let's see what his QB situation is, because it's tough seeing Hurts go bye-bye. My team QB is Jimmy G. No. Watson. Well, when Watson comes back, that could end up being okay for you. Like, I like Watson and Diggs more than I like Hurts and Higbee. But it's just, you're 6-4, so you should be okay, right? You're going to make the playoffs. You're going to be fine. And then Watson comes in and starts, firing it off for you. But if you don't make the playoffs because of this, it will be tough. It'll be a tough pill to swallow. But Hurts and Higbee for Diggs. Bottom line is this, bro. You're in a draft right now. Go forward. Weeks number 11 through 18. Or 17. 11 through 17. Who are you drafting first? Diggs or Hurts? You're drafting Diggs. So did you make a bad trade in a 1 QB league? No, you didn't. But is your team built and ready to withstand that kind of shift mid-season? That's why it's hard to say yes or no to some trades you'd say in retrospect. Oh, I would do that on draft day. Why would I not do it now? Because your team construction, your roster construction. But Watson, if you make the playoffs, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. I play our lower ranked team rest of season. My team is QB Jimmy. Okay, I mean you got a potential here, potential squad with Barkley, with Damian Pierce. I don't know if that's Dalvin Cook. You put Cooks. I don't know if that's Brandon Cooks you slotted. I believe that's Dalvin Cook because you put Cooks, but it's in the running back. So I'm going to say Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Pierce, very good running backs. If I'm you, I'm trading Foreman. I like your wide receivers and Diggs and Olave, and then Keenan Allen potentially. I'm trading Foreman and Keenan Allen, or Foreman and Amari Cooper, or Foreman and Pittman. And I'm going after a guy like CeeDee Lamb. I'm going after a guy like Mike Evans. I'm going after a player like Andrews. Andrews for that would make you potentially win this league. My guy. Do that trade. Do it live. Do it now. Go get it done. Go get it done. Okay, any college QBs you have your eye on. I mean, if we're gonna talk about the 2023 quarterback class, let's just do it live. Quarterback rankings. Let's pull some up. Let's pull some up and look at it. I don't think anybody's like standing out of the ordinary yet, if that's your question. There are so many things that are going to change between now and like January 1 even. So whether it's going to be Bryce Young or whether it ends up being Stroud or whoever, like the McKee kid, there's a lot of potential movers in this. I don't know anybody standing out of the ordinary like a riser. I think it really just comes down to Bryce Young and Stroud for right now. But if anybody's got another name they want to throw out that they think could be an absolute monster quarterback riser, I would probably say, let me pull up some different things real quick. Quarterback. I wonder, I mean, it really depends on landing spot, but Stroud and Bryce Young are the top two for sure. But this Levis guy, yeah. Is that how you say Levis, or is it like Levi's or whatever? Levi's jeans. Will Levi's. Will Levi's drop fire. McKee's interesting. There's that Anthony Richardson guy as well. Heineke versus the Texans or Goff? I'm going to go Goff. Yeah, Hendon Hooker's decent. Tennessee quarterback. I like him a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The interesting thing will be the RBs, man. The interesting thing will be them RBs. Is anybody gonna pick off Bijan Robinson? You know, is Gibbs gonna be some people's number one running back? Evans, there's a load of them. Remember Charbonnet? I talked about Charbonnet last year. Does anybody remember me doing the footage and the reviews on running backs? And I said that Zach Charbonnet, UCLA running back, is impossible to tackle. He is impossible to tackle. This guy is an absolute monster. And you got to wonder what he's starting to look like by January time. Gibbs, a lot of people like Gibbs. I don't know that Gibbs is my number one running back. I don't think he can finish in a way that's gonna, unless Bijan gets injured to the point where it's gonna hamper him in 2023. I don't see Gibbs passing him. An injury could definitely make something like that happen, but Gibbs, I like Gibbs a lot. I like Gibbs a lot, but I like Bijan a whole lot more. I think Robinson is an absolute monster in the making. I think Bijan Robinson's going to be probably a top 8 running back on my redraft rankings. Probably a top 10 overall player on my redraft board. If that makes anybody's jaw drop. Top 8 overall pick for me in 2023 fantasy football redraft leagues. A league mate wants to trade me Damian Harris and Foreman for Stevenson. I would take Stevenson and I would run. Should I drop DJ Moore for Kadarius Toney? I would rather drop somebody else, bro. You can't drop anybody else. You have to drop DJ Moore. I feel like you're putting me in a box there, Blake. But I definitely would. I definitely would want Toney, but I just don't know about that particular move. Robinson or Hall, Smitty. I mean, we got to wait. We can't make that determination yet. I mean, Robinson for now until we get a clean bill of health for Hall. If we start hearing, and mark my words, don't count on it, but this is me. This is my gut instinct. I have a feeling. What is today? Today is November 18th. It is the midnight show. It is about midnight my time. So somebody wants to date stamp this, okay? I believe we will hear something to the tune of, this guy, Breece Hall, looks so ahead of schedule. Almost looks like he never even suffered an ACL tear. You ought to see this kid cutting well before he should be cut. Like, this guy looks absolutely unreal. It's like he never tore his ACL. He's light years ahead. He's going to be ready for probably be ready for week 1. We very well may hear reports like that about Breece Hall. I just have a gut feeling his recovery is going to be amazing. He's young. We don't see a lot of top 5 overall players tear their ACL their rookie year. And then, usually anybody that tears their ACL as a rookie, they're done or they never come back. I don't get the same sense about Javonte yet, but that could happen. The other thing about Javonte is that he's got the Hackett, and hopefully Hackett's gone. But the Denver situation is a little bit more dicey. We're supposed to do quarterbacks here, so let's get back on track with quarterbacks in a second. Let me get these super chats out of the way. Burrow, JT, ETN, Walker, St. Brown, Gabe Davis, Higbee, Chase, DK, Toney. I am 5-5 in final moves I can do. JT, ETN, Walker, St. Brown, Gabe Davis. I mean, obviously, Chase, you're waiting on Chase. DK, no. I mean, unless you're going to couple like DK and White or DK and Mitchell or Hollywood Brown and Mitchell or maybe Gabe Davis and Mitchell or something like that to get like a Lamb, to go get a Mike Evans, to go get your tight end is who? Your tight end is who? Higbee. Use one of them to go get our boy Mark Andrews. That's the only move, bro. Your team is absolute straight fire. You're ready to rumble. Your squad's good to go. I'm not worried about anything when I'm looking at that squad. I'm feeling really, really, really good about what you got going on there. Terry Roberts in the house. Terry's doing work. Terry, appreciate you being here, my guy. We've missed seeing you in here. Guys, go get yourself a lifetime sub at Smitty's website. Take over for life. Study time starts in January. That's right, Terry. Appreciate you. And where you go for that is thefantasyfootballshow.com. Lifetime membership, bold predictions, trade calculator, one-on-one text device, articles, you name it. That's where it is. Go get it, thefantasyfootballshow.com. Thank you, Terry, for that reminder. Mac with the $5 hauler. Josh Allen, Jacob Swift, CD, Sutton, Mark, Garrett Wilson. Mark who? Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews, I'm sure. I think it's Mark. Mark. You know Mark. Mark Andrews. Accept Diggs Zeke for Swift Jacobs. Swift Jacobs. I don't know. I'd rather have Diggs than trade Sutton for Carter or Foreman. Sutton for Carter. I mean, I trade Sutton. Sutton for Carter or Foreman. I'd trade Sutton for Foreman, not for Carter. Take Foreman. Just do that trade. Don't do or accept Diggs for Swift Jacobs. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I take the Diggs side, and then I take the Foreman side. And then I walk to, not the bank, but, you can maybe glance at the bank. Maybe you can start planning, getting dressed for the bank. Those are good moves. My QBs rank rest of season: Allen, Mahomes, Fields, Hurts, Joe Burrow, Lamar, Tua, Herbert, Kyler, Geno, Watson, Brady, Dak, Cousins. Nice job, Avi. Appreciate you for dropping another ranking session. KCM, don't forget when in doubt, phone a friend and get the trade vetoed. Best show segment of 2022. That was amazing. Is he still here? Who was that? I forget who it was. Williams? It was something Williams. His name was Brett Williams, maybe Brent Williams? I wish he'd come back. I hope he didn't take offense to that. We mess around here. We try not to take ourselves too seriously, right? Quarterbacks. Let's do the rankings. Okay. So my quarterback rankings going forward. I'm going to go Mr. Allen at number 1. I'm going to go Mahomes at number 2. If I'm ranking QBs go forward. I'm going to go Hurts at number 3. I'm going to go, because we don't have Chase back, we can't put Burrow ahead of Fields for right now. I'm going to go Fields here. At 5, I'm going to go Burrow. But I will say that Burrow has the chance to jump up into the 3 spot once Jamar Chase is back. So I'll put that here, and then Chase equals back, because I want that to be, oh, you can't even read that. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so 6, Tua, Lamar, man, it's getting dicey. Lamar, Tua, and then probably, man, I'm going to go Herbs. I'm going to go bold here and go Herbs. Herbs bounces back. Wide receivers are back. This is tough, though. Burrow is absurd high. Absurd? Is that what you're trying to say? A bird high. I think you're saying absurd. Are you trying to say absurd? Herbert, yep. Question is, is Kyler, Dak, or Cousins next? Who are the last 2? I'm going to go 10. I'm going to go 10 deep. I know some might say Geno, but I'm not gonna say Geno. I mean, Kirk has got JJ, so it's tough. But I'm gonna say Kyler here. He's got Hollywood coming back. You know what I mean? So like he's gonna have more potential. And then finally, I guess it's gonna be either Dak or Kirk. I'll probably go a tie between Dak and Kirk. Dak and Kirk are my 10. That means we left off Geno, we left off Brady, we left off A-Rod, we left off Trevor Lawrence, Danny Dimes, Derek Carr, and everybody else. If you were to trade Kyler away, what could you get back? Not much, bro. He's hurt right now. So not a huge, but that's my top 10 quarterbacks. Dak and Kirk tied at 10, Kyler 9, Herbert 8, Tua 7, Lamar 6, Burrow 5, with a chance to go up into 3 once Jamar Chase is back. Fields at 4, Hurts at 3, Mahomes at 2, and Josh Allen at 1. I mean, I don't think you can argue too much with any of that. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's hit some of the questions. We may have another super chat here. Super chat from 77. Iman. Corum, yeah. Looks amazing. I like him, bro. Appreciate you. Standing ovation for you, Smitty. Thank you for all your expert analysis and bold predictions. I'm 7-3 thanks to you, Josh Allen Fields. Is that a super flex, bro? Saquon, JT, Mixon, Chubb, Rashad, Diggs, Evans, Pittman. I wish I could take credit for this, but you know what takes credit for this? Grandma, who you raked over the coals, Uncle Bob, who you robbed blind, and your little brother Stevie, who you talked into doing the league and took all their money, Eric. Unbelievable. Eric, I appreciate your kudos and the super chat and all the kind words. I work for you, so congratulations to you. When you go to the bar, and I don't know if there is a lady in your life already, but if there is not, and you're sitting at the bar and you lean over and the lady says to you, hey, what do? You say, I'm an investor. She's going to go, really? What do you invest in? The Fantasy Football Show. You are an investor, Eric. You are, as of this moment, a $9.99 investor. You probably dropped other wads on the screen, but Eric, use it to your advantage. I work for you, Eric. You let people at the sports bar know I work for you. Anyway, how the hell is Fields up there with Mahomes and Allen? Fields is terrible at throwing the ball. Well, Javon, let's review. This is going to be a pretty sight. Javon, I appreciate you, first of all. I don't want you to get mad at me or anything. But when you pull up quarterbacks on your app, bro, and you look at what's going on. Okay, so you go to any team you have, you go to leaders, you click on quarterbacks, you click on season stats. Okay, you do that. You click season, you click sort by top scoring quarterbacks. You look and you see a guy named Justin Fields ranking. You don't know how clear that is, but he's number 6 right there, second from the bottom, number 6, and really didn't do a whole lot at the beginning of the year. So technically this guy is scoring at a rate that would put him number 1 overall. You know what I mean? So you can do two things here, Javon. You can live in the past, which is weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. You can even say 7 if you want. You can live in the past, Javon. You can go back to Roy's room and bury your head in the pillow. Take a look at the room. Or if you get over there, please pick up the deuce that's in the middle of his room. You can live in the past, or you can recognize what's been going on. And when you look at this man's game log, let me pull it up and put it on screen so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's glorious when you look at it. It makes you relish in everything that is amazing about this man's stat line. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It looks like a piece of glory. If you want to see glory, if you want to be a part of glory, Javon, then you want to acknowledge and relish in what is known as the rise of Justin Fields. And it is what it is. Look at the stats, bro. Look at the stats. So again, in the past, Javon, 18 points, 8 points, 4 points, 9 points. We're laughing at this point. We're all laughing. Don't act like you weren't laughing, Mr. TD, Avi, Terry, Faithful Lee, Iman, Silver, Drew. Every single one of you, including me, was laughing. At week 3, when he scored 4.94, probably every one of us leaned over to a friend and said, Fields ain't it. They actually thought this guy was the starter. Okay? So, Javon, we were where you were, or where you are. Okay? We were where you currently are in week 3. Don't act like you thought he was the real deal. In week 3, you didn't. Okay? Every one of us didn't. Then week 4 came. He doubled in points. He went from 4.94 points to 9.16. We should have seen it. We should have seen it. Right in week 4, he doubled. Doubled to 9 points. Then he doubled again. Or almost to 17. Okay? That's when we should have really known that there was a trend going on. An equation beyond equations. This man was turning into an absolute double and triple stamp monster. He double stamped a triple stamp from weeks number 3 until week 5 at 17 points. Then week 6 he went kind of quiet. 20 points. Week 7, 20 points. Then it erupted. 30, 48, 43. Look at the stat log, bro. Look at it. Look at the passing touchdowns. 2, 3, 2. Dude was running for 100 yards a game and a touchdown on the ground. Javon, doesn't really matter what this man throws for. Do you see a 200-yard game anywhere between 6 and week 10? You don't. Do you need it to be 200 yards, Javon? No. The man's a running back. The man runs for 100 yards and a touchdown on the ground. I understand if we're talking football. Fields has 58% completions. He is nowhere near Lamar except for running. Javon, what kind of show is this? What kind of show are you watching right now? Do we care about completion percentage? Is this a ranking of who is the better quarterback in terms of a football player, or is this a fantasy football show? You know what I'm saying, Javon? I'm not mad at you at all. And you can definitely call in and we can have a conversation. Javon, nobody call in but Javon. And Javon, I'm not going to try and blast you or anything. I would just love to have a candid conversation about this. Dial into the show. If you call in and you're not Javon, I will block you. Okay? So please listen. Somebody's not going to listen. Someone's not going to pay attention. Somebody's just going to call in and go, oh. Are you Javon? Hey, Smitty. I have a question about my quarter. Are you Javon? Oh, no. I'm not. Okay? Goodbye. And I'm going to hang up. Okay? So if you want to call ever again, don't dial in. Javon, the phone line's open. I would love to have this conversation with you right now. Not in I'm not worried of picking on you. I just want to have this conversation. Call in, Javon. The phone line is open for you. That boy, appreciate your super chat. Trade Kyler and CMC for Fields and Pierce. I'm not trading CMC. Look, I have more faith in Kyler bouncing back with Hollywood coming back than worrying about downgrading my running back. And I like Pierce a lot, but I'm not. I don't think I'm trading CMC. Does anybody disagree on that one? Javon, I'm waiting for you. Is Javon calling or no? I don't think he's calling. I have ETN, Walker, JT, just trying to upgrade my second QB. Have Burrow as well. So I assume it's a super flex, your second QB. I mean, I don't think I'm upgrading my second QB using CMC, though. I don't know. Am I wrong on that? Would someone rather have Fields? I feel like would anybody rather have Fields and Pierce or Kyler and CMC? I'd rather have Kyler and CMC. Let me look for Javon. How am I salty? I'm not saying you're salty. I just want to have the conversation. Call in, Javon. It's a safe place, bro. I'm not going to blast you. I just want our conversation. Unless you call in hot and start telling me how wrong I am or something, I'm not trying to blast you. I just want to have a conversation. You're on a fantasy football show, and you're asking me how do I have Fields number 4 when he can't throw 300-yard games, his completion percentage. Javon, you're watching a fantasy football show. What you're talking about has no relevance whatsoever to rankings. When it comes to fantasy football rankings, he is scoring way in the top 5, locked and loaded. He is a massive monster at the quarterback position in terms of fantasy football. No one is out having the debate you're having. You're having it all by yourself, because no one's talking about your angle. No one cares about that angle in this environment. I appreciate your angle. I appreciate you, and I want to talk about it. I'm not mad at you. I just want to have a good conversation about it. But there's no one in here saying that in terms of pure passing, Fields is an excellent passer. His throws are accurate. He will throw consistently in the 255 range every single game. He's not running for his life constantly, which is why he does so well, Javon. He's in a bad offense that makes him run the football all the time. He's probably very likely to have a short career if they keep running him like this. And if he doesn't run this way, Javon, he's probably not going to score as a top 5 fantasy football quarterback. So in a sense, Javon, you could be correct 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now that it won't sustain. I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about where do I rank these guys going forward. And if you don't have Fields in your top 4, Javon, you're not ranking fantasy football rankings. You're ranking NFL quarterback accuracy rankings or NFL QB rankings. Your rankings have nothing to do with fantasy football. If you don't have him in your top 5, Javon, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. He's scoring like a top 5 fantasy football quarterback. I guess he's not calling in. Javon, are you calling in or not? I don't see him. I don't know why people are afraid to call in. I'm telling them I'm not. I just want to have a conversation. I'm not mad. I'm not going to blast him or anything. I just want to have a conversation with him. Smitty, he's not a top 5. Anyway, Vinny, okay, phone lines are open to anybody that wants to have a discussion about Justin Fields. How much fab should you drop and spend on Fournette, White, gone? I mean, Matt, I don't like Fournette at all. So, not much. I mean, I just don't like Fournette. Fournette's not the starter anymore. So the answer is I don't really care about Fournette, but I appreciate you, Matt. And Matt, you're going to the moon.
To the moon.
I don't know what's going on. I would love for Javon to call. Trade Kyler at CMC. What did we say about this? Can you guys vote again? I missed the answers. Trade Kyler and CMC for Fields and Pierce. Please vote again one more time for me. Drop a vote. Please drop a vote. Please help that boy get the right answer and proper attention. And you know what? I'm going to send Javon to the moon. I wish you'd call in, but Javon, you can go to the moon. Because I appreciate you still. I'm not mad at you at all, Javon. I just want to I just love having conversations where people see differently than I do. It's fun. It's not a bad thing. CMC side. Keep Kyler CMC. Worst trade in history, says OG. On what side, bro?
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, try calling in now. Did Javon say he tried to call in? I don't know. Call in, Javon. I'm waiting for you, bro. That boy, appreciate your super chat. Chris Young dropped something but didn't attach a message. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
It's Luke. Hey, Smitty.
What's up, Luke?
Yeah, I'm not Jamon, obviously, but yeah, I do think I'd take Lamar over Fields. I own Fields right now, but
Yeah, I'm fine with Lamar over Fields. I mean, I ranked Lamar at 6, but I could go either way. You know, I could
honestly just like I don't know Fields when he lost last game. Like, are they going to give up on him at any point? Maybe, probably not. But
give up on him. They're going to give up on him.
I love Lamar.
They're going to give up on him. He's playing phenomenal. He's not throwing with the best accuracy on the planet, but like the guy doesn't have a whole lot to work with. He's running for his life. Like no one's giving up on him. He's playing phenomenal considering, you know what I mean?
I like him a lot. I would prefer Lamar.
Yeah, I don't blame anybody. Like I said, rankings are everybody should be allowed to have, you know, differing opinions when it comes to rankings, and nobody should be clowned on. And I'm not saying Lamar or Javon was clowning on my ranking necessarily. I'm not really talking even about.
No, I honestly think he thought, you're talking NFL.
Yeah, but even so, like I don't care what he said. I'm not talking about Javon specifically, but when like I rank something, and somebody goes, "Oh my God, can't believe you have Hurts number 3 and he's not 2," and it's just like, what are you talking about? You know, like this is splitting hairs at some of these cases. Not to mention.
People think they know the future just because of what they did last week or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you got to be open to the idea that you don't have the right.
They're not in Roy's.
Might pop up that you're not expecting.
They're not in Roy's room. They don't know what's going on. Foreman or Gibson this week? Probably Foreman, man. I'm not gonna trust Gibby yet, or probably ever. This $10 hauler from
To the moon.
From who is this? This is from Boy 8. I don't know what. Maui boy. Maui boy traded Fields, Lenny for Pierce, Herbert. Fields, Lenny for Pierce and Herbert. Oh, I don't know. It's like a kick to the nads, and then you get handed a gift, and then the other one you get handed a gift, then kicked in the nads. Like I'd probably go Herbert and Pierce. I don't like Lenny at all. So I have more faith that Herbert can kind of get toward Fields' value. Lenny's not going to get anywhere near Pierce's value. So I other moves to make. Hold on, guys. Let me answer the super chat real quick. ETN, Pierce, JJ, Amari. I like this team. I'm trading Amari and Monty for one player. I'm trading Foreman and Amari for one player. I'm trading Sutton. Love Kelsey. It's great. But trade Amari and Sutton, Amari and Monty, Amari and Foreman, Sutton and Foreman, all for one player. Shoot for guys like Lamb and Evans and those kind of guys. Thank you, Maui boy. Appreciate you. Okay, what else you got? Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, Smitty? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. What can I do for you?
Not much, man. Not much. Just had a quick question for you. So it's must-win territory for me. I'm 4-6. I got my flex spot. Do I rock with George Pickens, Darius Slayton, or Elijah Mitchell this week? I know it's thin, but
PPR?
Half-point PPR. Yep.
Probably Mitchell. If it's not full PPR, probably Mitchell.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I had Pickens plugged in, but
I don't mind that. I mean, you're not making a bad move. You know, it's arguable.
Yeah.
Like Pickens didn't he run for a touchdown? Like, I mean, he's got a lot of upside. They won't use him. I hate to say this because I don't want people to take it out of context, but like they want to use him as like a poor man's utility deep. Like I don't want to say Debo. I don't want to say Debo because people are going to think he's going to be ultra, utilized. But like, I don't know, like a little bit of a gadget type player at times near the goal line. I think they're very interested in getting the ball in his hands. So I like Pickens a lot, but give me Mitchell in a half PPR. You
don't like Darius Slayton this weekend against Detroit at home?
I mean, trust your gut. If your gut's screaming that could happen. It's just kind of like they're all very close to me, and I'm just leaning the RB, who's probably going to get 12 carries or more. in a half PPR.
Okay.
But trust your gut, man, because I'm kind of forcing an answer, and I'd hate for you to go with my like, okay, I guess I'll pick him, and then your gut's like Slayton, and then you're starting the guy I barely remember even telling you to start. So
yeah, it happens like that. Just the last thing, Kyler Murray or Jimmy G. It's the same league. Obviously, Murray's has this little hamstring thing he's dealing with. But what would you do if he's healthy come Monday?
Kyler. Jimmy G, he didn't throw a touchdown pass last week, man.
He ran one in, but it was kind of a weird game.
But that's the Niners, though. Like, Jimmy G can't. There will be a game where he has 3 touchdowns because he throws 3 short passes to CMC and Ayuk and Debo, and they all run it in for him. But I don't like Jimmy G at all, bro. I never bank on Jimmy G.
So stick with Kyler. Don't pick up nobody off waivers.
Who's on waivers?
Russ is the top guy. Mariota, and that's really it.
I don't know. I mean, Jimmy G or one of those guys. I don't know.
That's
cellar dweller. The cellar dweller. Just taking a total guess. I'd have to look at it. Leave it in the comments of my YouTube video, and I could break it down a little more or something. But I would say hopefully Kyler's playing.
Okay, I got you.
All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Later.
Yeah.
This one's from Chris Young on a super chat. Chris says $500 entry fee, 12-team league. Any moves you would make? Fields, JJ, Jamar, Pickens, Odell Beckham Jr., DJ Moore, Kamara, Swift, Deonta Foreman, Eli Mitchell, Goddard, Schultz. Okay, not a bad team, bro. I mean, I'd ultimately like to take like a DJ Moore or a Mitchell or maybe a Gibby or Pickens and a couple of them together, like a Deonta Foreman and a DJ Moore to get a Lamb, a Deonta Foreman and a DJ Moore to get a Mike Evans, a Deonta Foreman and a DJ Moore to get a Pierce or to get a Stevenson. I just like Stevenson a little more than Deonta Foreman, but Foreman could hold his own against Stevenson straight up. I'm not saying that can't happen, but Mark Andrews for Schultz and maybe DJ Moore. Mark Andrews using your Schultz and maybe a potential Gibby. Those would be great moves for you, my guy. Appreciate your super chat. $20 hauler. $20 hauler from T. Brady. T. Brady dropping a wad. Let's give him a standing ovation, shall we? T. Brady.
Mashed potatoes!
What's up, T? Hit me with a T. 12-man, 0.5. Mahomes, Tua. I assume this is a 1 QB league, my guy. I don't see Superflex anywhere. What are you doing with both these quarterbacks? Eckler, Mostert, Warren, White, Jamar Chase, Higgins. Looking at this, I feel like it's a 2 QB league. Let me look and see if he's going to respond here. T. Brady, is this a 2 QB league or a Superflex league? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay. You got to insert that information in here, my guy. It looks thin, so I figured it was. Mostert, Warren, Rashad White stepping up for you at the RB2 spot. I love it. Great job. So I think you could quietly leave that running back room alone. Kind of sucks, it's a 1 QB league. Oof. Well, you got to trade Mahomes in. If you can't trade Tua, you got to trade Mahomes. I know you don't want to, but you got to make a move. I mean, with Chase down, what's your record? 8-2 though. Oh, you can wait on Chase. This is a good spot to be in. Then I guess I would still be tempted though, because you have. I love Rashad White, I love Eckler, I love Mahomes. I guess you could be okay. Maybe you don't have to force a trade. Does the chat think that he should trade Mahomes, or do you think he should wait on Mahomes, Eckler, Jamar Chase? That's really good when healthy. Rashad White's coming into his running back 2 spot. Godwin and Higgins is actually a crafty little team if you don't touch it and Chase comes back. I'm not saying he needs to necessarily trade Mahomes, but if you did keep Tua in the lineup and you did get for Mahomes, let's say an ETN, a Walker, what other RBs could he get? I would at least explore this trade idea. You know what I mean? Like Mahomes, I know you don't want to trade him, but you can maybe JT. You might get JT, bro. People are weird about JT right now. They either love him or they don't think he's a top 5 running back, and they laugh at the idea. Mahomes for Adams, A.J. Brown, Kelsey. I don't know. You start getting into dangerous territory when you go. You need a running back. Your wide receivers are fine. So we'll just stick with RBs. Walker, ETN, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, maybe Joe Mixon, and then it kind of drops off a little bit. So that would be my take. Past that, bro, if you can't trade either one of them, I would make one more attempt at trading Tua, go to a QB needy team, and try thinking a little bit more unorthodox. Start looking at like what you trade. Who's your tight end? Higgins is your wide receiver. Godwin, Collins. I don't see a tight end, so I'm assuming you don't start a tight end. It's just wide receivers. If so, then I guess I don't do this move. But I would like Mark Andrews using Tua, and if you gave up your tight end, maybe you get it done. I would trade Higgins for a baby upgrade bump into probably like Higgins into maybe Lamb's enough, maybe not. I don't know, bro. Past that, it's tough. Hopefully you get something like that done. I would explore. Saturday, gonna light a fire under those. All right, Brian. Brian and Fantasy Dad, just so you know, your comments get moderated when you drop swear words in by YouTube, so it doesn't get shown to anybody when you do that, just so you know. It gets held and I see it, but nobody else sees it. Let's see, trade Mahomes and Higgins for JJ. I would take JJ if you have a good quarterback. Thank you for the super chat. This one's from Rocket. Rocket says 10-team Superflex redraft inbox trade. Mahomes for Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and Matt Ryan. Mahomes for Tom Brady, Mike Evans. Wow. Tom Brady and Mike Evans are on a bye. I'm currently 5-5 and 5th in the league. I probably take Mahomes then. You need a win. Mahomes is a big upgrade in a super flex, man. I take Mahomes. I do it live. It's a super flex, so it's different. Mahomes goes number 2 overall. You know, and Brady might not even be a first rounder, even though he's a quarterback. And Evans is not even in round 2 because it's a super flex. So give me Mahomes, top 2 overall pick, bro. And you need something anyway at 5 and whatever, 5-5. 0.5, 9-1. Look at this 9-1 team by Dutta. Dutta. I think it's how you say your name. Hurts, Stevenson, Swift, Hill, AJB, Hopkins, Ingram, benches, Komet, Pacheco, White, Madison, Pickens. Trade ideas. Feel weak at running back. Tried Swift for Andrews. I guess you didn't get that done. You know I'm going to suggest that. So you're bringing the counter to me before I even say it, right? Let's see. Hold on one second, my guy. I got to answer the super chat real quick, and then I'll hit you. Hang tight. Hurts, Stevenson, Swift, Hill, A.J. Brown, Hopkins, Ingram, benches, Komet, Pacheco, White. I'm probably going to say Hill and AJB and Hopkins is fire. Hurts and Stevenson's decent. You just need to, JT's my target. using Swift, and I'd even give up Hopkins and Swift for JT and something. I'd explore that. Swift and Hopkins, Swift and AJB for JT and something. If you do AJB, you got to get more back. If you do Swift and Hopkins with Hollywood coming back, I don't know, man. Even Rashad White and AJ Brown for JT might even be something you can poke around at. I don't know. Definitely would look to get. I know you're saying you're trying to get rid of Swift, but I think you said that, did you? Swift, Hill, Swift. What other court running back could you go get using Swift? Pierce, Aaron Jones, if you want to take a little bit of a gamble. Swift for Aaron Jones, Swift for Jeff Wilson and something. Swift for Pierce, yeah. That's kind of what I would attack. What's up, man? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Thank you for the super chat, by the way.
Smitty?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I got a trade today, and they want Saquon Barkley and Pierce for Eckler, Debo, and Gibson.
Saquon Barkley and Pierce for what?
For Eckler, Debo, and Antonio Gibson.
Gibson doesn't move the needle for me, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't for me either. Because I tried to offer him Pierce and Mixon for Eckler, but then that's what he countered with.
Yeah. I'd probably say that I like Pierce over Debo and Eckler and Barkley. So I'm going to say don't make that trade. Don't acquire Debo.
All right, well, right now I'm fourth place in the 10-team, 10-man league. And I just want to know if you think my team's good enough to make the playoffs. Right now I got Hurts at QB, Mixon RB1, Barkley RB2, T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Schultz, Pierce at the flex, and on the bench I have Prescott, Rashad White, Darnell Mooney, Olave, Pickens, Sutton, Everett.
Yeah, I think you have a squad that can pick off one team at a time. Do I think you're the top team in the league? No, but do I think the top team in the league always has to win the Super Bowl? No. So I don't think I panic on that.
Okay.
I mean, Barkley, Pierce.
Any moves you would suggest?
So you have Hurts, Barkley, Pierce, Higgins. Who else?
Mixon, Amon-Ra, Schultz, Prescott, White.
Yeah,
Mooney,
you know what?
Olave.
I must have not absorbed the whole thing when you first said it. I'm sorry. I'm doing 10,000 things at once half the time. Your team's good. You could win it all. I mean, your receivers are crafty. You've got Barkley. I forgot you said you had Mixon. That was what I was forgetting. You got Mixon as well.
Yeah.
What about JT? I mean, what's your record again?
5-5 right now.
5-5. Man, I want you to get JT for Mixon, but you might need that bye week advantage. I'd be tempted to get JT for Mixon.
Yeah, because not a lot of trades are being made in this league.
Do you think you'd want to do that?
Let me look at his team. He might, because he has Elliott. He doesn't have any backups.
I would probably do that. Maybe you sell him on the fact that JT's got a bye coming up. He's been bad all year. And you just be like, hey, I'll give you Mixon. But you can even do the psychology and this stuff, bro. Listen to how this sounds, okay? If I go, hey, you want to trade JT for my Mixon? And you're like, I don't really. But how's this sound? It's a little bit different, just the wording of it. Like, hey, I'll give you my Mixon who's already at his bye. He's coming fresh off a bye. No bye week in the way for your JT. But because JT has a bye week in week 14, the worst possible time, what are you going to give me if I swap you that? What additional player are you going to give me?
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that almost talk you into answering the question and maybe doing the deal versus if I just asked you straight up one for one and then you all of a sudden start thinking we're negotiating, you're going to start heading the other direction. Like, well, no, You know what I mean? Like, I'm asking for something additional, and if he does get to the point where he's like, I'm not going to give you anything, it's an even swap, that's how you negotiate, bro. Negotiation 101. That is probably one of the best subtle approaches to a trade negotiation you can make. I mean, it feels sly,
So you
doesn't
think
it?
JT is a move I should make?
I would. I mean, I would. That's me though. You're 5-5. I can't promise that it's going to work out for you, but if you feel like you're going to squeak it out, your team's pretty solid.
I mean, you think Joe Mixon keep up the production though?
Well, I wouldn't be telling you to trade Mixon for JT if I thought Mixon would outscore him. Let's just say that, but it doesn't mean that Mixon can't continue to do well, but he hasn't been consistent all year. He's had one huge game, which I think you can't take away from him. It's a dangerous game to be like, oh, well, what if we take away this guy's points or take away that guy's points? But right now he's better than he was all year, and I think that'll continue, but I think people oftentimes, they take these like huge monster touchdown performance games. You know, he had one of the best scoring games ever in the history of fantasy football. And I think people are expecting a whole heck of a lot, man.
Let me see. What else do you think I should get with JT though?
Well, I mean, you're more so trying to get, I don't know if you caught what I was trying to do there. You're more so trying to get him to do it straight up. But like, if he could give you something, sure, take whatever he offers you. But I'm saying, what I was trying to convey is that if I say, hey, trade me JT and I'll give you Mixon, he's going to immediately start negotiating with you. And I said, doesn't this sound a little more sly and more advantageous to be like, hey, I'll give you Mixon who's give him the advantages, map it out for him. I'll give you Mixon who's already had his bye week. He's fresh off a bye too. He's healthy, rested. But for JT, JT's got a bye week in the worst possible time of week 14. What are you going to give me in addition to the swap? And then maybe he says, well, I don't have much. I'll give you like somebody, but not a big starter. Then you can go to his roster and start picking up your favorite player to add in. But at the worst case scenario, he's going to be like, no, I'm not giving you anything else. But then now he'll do it because he's like basically trying to talk you out of wanting something additional.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I do it. If you don't seem like you feel comfortable getting JT, bro, so don't do it. I mean, trust your gut. Don't do it what I want. Do what you want. All right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, okay, it's all right. Man.
Yeah. Call back if you got another one, bro. Appreciate you. All right, Zach, you're live on the show, bro. What can I do for you?
What's up, Smitty?
What up?
I wanted to go over my team with you and see if you have any trade suggestions, because my trade deadline's in a couple days.
All right, hold on. All right, hit me with it.
All right, it's just to preface it, we have to start 3 wide receivers, and it's 1 flex and 2 running backs. So my team is Tua, Tony Pollard, Rashad White, CEH, JJ, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Dulcich, and yeah, that's basically it.
So this is your team? You don't have any guys on the bench, on the bye or something? No offense.
I mean, I have Elijah Moore, Joshua Palmer, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Odell, Dawson Knox.
You heard about my
I've heard about it.
Yeah, Smitty. Use code Smitty at Underdog Fantasy. They'll give you up to $50 bonus match on your first deposit, and you can kind of like start over, like do a week 11 contest only, do props and
The crazy part about it is I am 7-3, so I am looking like I'm gonna make the playoffs.
Well, let's put a blindfold on and let's head right into the playoffs, shall we? See what happens. I mean, JJ's got to be traded. I'm sorry. I mean, this team is not. I mean, I like Waddle. I like JJ. And, Tua is obviously solid, and then Higgins is decent. Like, these are decent players, but, like, this isn't... I mean, you never know, bro. All it takes is one game at a time. Like when you think about stuff like that in life, like when a big task is in front of you and people say one baby steps, 1 foot in front of the other, like it's true. One game at a time. You're in the playoffs, right? The number one seed gets knocked off in their first game, and then all of a sudden you're facing like teams that are not that much better than yours, and they have a bad game. Like you could. You don't want to look back and say I should have, Smitty bummed me out. I didn't even set my lineup, and if I went back and looked at it, I would have won the whole thing. Like, definitely give it the good old college try, and it's certainly possible. Like, what if Rashad White and Pollard both remain top 6 to 10 running backs? Neither of those scenarios you can count on, but they're both within the realm of possibility. It's not likely that both are. It's, I'm hopeful that one of them is a top 10 running back, let's say White's a top 7 running back, go forward. Like, this team could ball. I wouldn't throw in the towel, but would I trade JJ if I could get like a Lamb and ETN? But you have to get something like that. What someone's going to try and do is say, I'll give you, and they're going to try and give you like a Lamb and like nothing with it. Like it's got to be almost 2 CD Lambs. You can't get JJ for a 5th round player for their 2nd round player. Like, I'll take my Lamb, who's a 2nd rounder at best, and upgrade him into the number 1 overall pick, and all I'm going to give you is a 4th or a 5th round type of player. Sorry. Like, that's not how it works. And maybe not everybody wants to do this trade, but I guarantee you 1 or 2 teams out there are willing to overpay for JJ, because I see it every day. People want JJ so bad.
Right. So there's nothing that you would do like straight up, like a T. Higgins for like a running back to put in there?
Yeah, I suppose. T. Higgins you could take a gamble on Aaron Jones. You could take a gamble on Dameon Pierce. You could try to swing for the fences and get an ETN or something, but you're not going to get that. Waddle for ETN or Walker, I would do. And then all of a sudden you start looking a little different, Like, and you could keep White and Pollard in there.
The problem is they have to start those 3 wide receivers.
Well, you could start, but you also have to start 2 of those running backs. And like, I'm okay with Pollard and White now. And maybe Pollard stays good all year long, and White could. But, I mean, you could start Garrett Wilson as your 3rd wide receiver, and then I'd much rather have that Walker or ETN in there. Now, if you're not getting Walker or ETN for Waddle, I'm not trading it. But, like, where are you drafting Walker and ETN, bro? In the top 10? Where are you drafting Waddle? In the top of round 3? Like, are we really going to argue Waddle over ETN or Walker when you literally would take them more than 12 whole draft picks apart, and you're going to keep them? Why? Because you want a wide receiver? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to take value when you find it. If you could get that, I don't know that you even could. You might make that offer and they laugh at you. You know what I mean? But if you could get ETN or Walker and you turn it down because you want a wide receiver, I mean, you got to start 2 RBs, bro, and you got Garrett Wilson's ready to go. He said, "Put me in, coach."
Yep. All right, perfect. Thanks, man. I'll try a couple of things out.
Yeah, I mean, trust your gut ultimately, man. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody.
I mean, it's been working, but I know I can't win with those running backs.
I may tell everybody to go get Rashad White. I may tell everybody that, to go trade for this guy and that guy. I might land 100 things, but I'm always going to miss 2. Everybody is. You never could be 100%. And for every Rashad White I have, every 2. Let's say I've got a 2-to-1 ratio. Let's call it solid. Okay. For every 2 Rashad Whites I have, I'm going to have a Taysom Hill, who I landed on, but then he continues to bust for multiple weeks. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm always going to be wrong on stuff. So please don't just take what I say and apply it. Like, nobody do that. That's why I ask the chat all the time. I'm not lacking humility to the tune where I can't sit there and go, I'm always going to answer the question no matter if I know what to do or not. I know people. I have a buddy that does that. No matter what you ask him, he will answer it. No matter what. It doesn't matter if he doesn't know the answer. He'll answer it. He'll answer anything. You could say, is it going to rain tomorrow. He has no clue. He'll be like, no, it's not. It's not going to rain tomorrow. He'll have no clue. He'll have no clue, and he'll answer the question. And I don't want to be that person. And I pride myself in not being that kind of guy. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer, and I'll turn over to the chat, and my chat might convince me. Does that make me a weak man? No, it makes me a man of the people. And my people are knowledgeable. And, I'll even look at the chat right now. Does anybody have any suggestions here for, what's your name again, Zach? For Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Does anybody have any suggestions for Zach? Someone said, Big Geo, does he need a QB? Big Geo. I don't know if that's for you, because you do have, I don't know. I don't know if that was for you. This ETN is not playing. This ETN not playing is messing me up. Well, he's on a bye. He's not deciding to not play for you, Casey. Check the chat. Keep an eye on the chat, okay? The chat's going to give you some suggestions. Guys, here's his team. Give him a suggestion or two. All right, Zach, appreciate you, man.
For sure. Thanks, Mitty.
Yeah.
Other people.
Yeah, thank you, bro. JJ in the 2-for-1. I don't know. In one ear and out the other ear, Luke. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. You guys give me too much credit. I love when someone super chats me like 15 minutes later and says, in that other question, I have so-and-so as a quarterback. I'm like, I don't remember any of that. Let's say we got two people on the line here. We got Insider Ricky and Second Chance. Let's go with Insider Ricky first. Second Chance, if you could stay as quiet as you can, don't mouth breathe into the phone or drop a deuce or something like that and be distracting, okay? Just hang tight. Insider Ricky, you are up.
Hey, it's Mitty. How you doing?
What's up, man?
I had a quick question.
Oh, we changed your name to Long-Winded Ricky, but go ahead, Long-Wind.
It could be both. I just had a quick question. It's a 14-teamer.
Quick, yeah,
and
right.
It's a pretty big roster. It's 3 wide receivers and 2 flexes. My wide receivers are pretty good, but my RB2 is where I'm lacking. I currently have Barkley as my RB1, but like you said, I have high hopes for Rashad White and Pollard. And the current offer on the table is Barkley for White, Pollard, and I would be taking on Jamar Chase. And then I'd be giving on Barkley and Brandon Cooks. He might be wanting Gabe Davis, but we're still negotiating that part.
Okay. So you're getting Brandon Cooks or you're giving up Barkley and Cooks for White, Pollard, and Chase.
Yeah.
I'm going to
right
say...
now, currently, my RB2 is McKinnon.
Yeah, it's almost irrelevant to me. Like, I understand why you want to do the move, and I get that this could end up working out on the Chase side, but the problem is you don't know what's going on with Jamar Chase. You don't know. What's your record, first of all?
Right now, I'm 5-5. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie on 5-5.
And you want to get rid of Barkley, bro? You can't do that. That's like you're about to run a marathon and you want to give away your shoes.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to cover that hole because I feel like after Brandon Cooks has been lagging, now I have a wide receiver 3 hole and a RB2 hole.
Yeah, it's like wanting to hike across the desert, and you want to give away your canteen bottle of water, bro. What are you doing?
Well, and if someone wants, obviously you want to sell high as possible with Barkley, but what would be a considerable trade in return?
If I'm giving away, like let's do the anchor approach, okay? Let's just call out a wide receiver, okay? So you're gonna downgrade Barkley, or let's use a wide receiver first. Sometimes it's easier to find a wide receiver and then go after that team and find out what running backs they have. So let's use this exercise. So do you have your rosters in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, go to the St. Brown owner.
Yeah, let me see.
Who's he got at RB?
St. Brown owner has Josh Jacobs, Damian Pierce as his starting running back.
Josh Jacobs, Damian Pierce. So Damian Pierce and St. Brown for Barkley. Probably not enough, but it's better than this. You know. What does the Mark Andrews? Well, who's your tight end?
I lost Hurts, so my current tight end is Hayden Hurst.
Okay. Who's the Mark Andrews owner have at RB?
I think it might be the same guy. Let me check.
Same guy. Then hold on.
Yeah, the same owner of Pierce.
We might be onto something here. We might be onto something. Mark Andrews and Pierce for Barkley, maybe. Oh, but you're wanting 2 RBs from this, aren't you? I don't know that you're gonna be able to construct a deal like you want to do it. Maybe you could rob this guy blind. You take Pierce, you take Andrews, you take St. Brown for Barkley and Cooks. I don't know. Let's go to another team. ETN. Who's the ETN owner have at wide receiver? Or just who they have, period. ETN owner.
The ETN owner has he has Carr as his quarterback, Eckler. Is that Justin Jackson? Yeah, Justin Jackson is RB2.
Ooh, Justin Jackson.
And then his wide receivers, Hopkins, Reynolds, Amari Cooper, that's tight end, DPJ, and Marshall.
There you go, bro.
Bench,
there you go. ETN and Hopkins for Barkley. Nailed it.
Let's see what's his record.
Huh?
Pretty sure it's pretty trash. I'm just seeing his record, see how desperate he would be to sell. I mean, he's 4-6, so I'm pretty sure he's trying to get to that.
Bro, the answer's right in front of your face, right on the screen. ETN and Hopkins nailed it. I mean, you just got to go through. You got to go through teams like this. Use the anchor approach. It's the easiest way to make a trade. Go find an anchor. Start balancing the scale on your side until you feel like your side is toppling back over and it's heavier. He may not know it's heavier. You got to be deceptive with it sometimes. But you go and you get yourself an ETN for Barkley. What else do they have on their side of the fence that you could put on the scale? And boom, ETN and Hopkins way more than just Barkley. That's called nailed it.
All right.
That's called nailed it.
Pretty awesome. Thanks so much, Mitty.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Second chance, Steven. I forgot you were there, bro. What can we do for you? The guy's quiet as can be. You really took my instructions to heart. You're like a ninja. We might change your name to Ninja, Steven, because you're sitting there as silent as can be. There wasn't a decibel coming from that receiver, bro. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt, you know.
You didn't.
I lost Cooper Kupp. I was wondering if I could run my team by you, see if you could maybe help me patch some holes.
Okay.
All right, so it's a 2-flex league. I'm 8-2, and it's a 12-team PPR. My quarterback is Burrow. My running backs are Eckler, Chubb, and ETN. My wide receivers now are Waddle and T. Higgins. And then I have an empty flex spot. I don't really know which player to put in there yet. And my tight end is Everett.
And just for the comment here, I don't know who said it, but they said that you're never going to get Hopkins and ETN for Barkley. A, he could have added somebody else in like Cooks or whatever. But B, that's a negative attitude. That is a no go getter attitude. Do you know? Like, this is the funniest thing in the world to me. I don't know who said that. Who said that? Raise your hand. You don't have to be. I'm not trying to go at your comment. I'm just trying to explain something. When you say something like nobody's going to do that, do you realize that I sit here all day long, my entire life? I'm not complaining. I have the best job in the world, but I sit here all day long and have a handful of people say to me from this side, I would never trade Barkley for ETN and Hopkins. Boom. And then from the other side, a handful of people at the same time telling me, you're never going to get ETN and Hopkins for Barkley. Boom. And they're both yelling at me at the same time, just hitting me from both sides. It is hilarious to look at one person's perspective when I'm sitting up above looking at both of you. Both of you are saying the opposite thing, and I'm sitting here laughing because somebody's telling me it can't be done. And I have a text line where I have hundreds and hundreds of messages per day. It's out of hand. I can't even, in a way, I can't even get to all the questions in a 10-hour period these days. It's so out of hand. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions a day. And I can't tell you how many times people are doing these moves, pulling them off. So I'm just telling you, when you say you can't do this or you can't do that, nobody's going to do that. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. Because I see it all day long, and I'm told from both sides at the same time while you're telling me someone else is telling me the complete opposite. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like the Fields argument. This guy comes in here, and I appreciate him, Javon, if he's still here. But Javon's like, you can't rank Fields number 4. You can't rank Fields number 4. And do you know how many people are at the same time are telling me, how do you not have Fields number 1? How do you not have Fields number 1, you moron? How do you not have Fields number 1, Smitty? Smitty's a moron. Smitty's a moron. He doesn't have Fields number 1. How do you have Fields top 5? He's not top 5. It's constant. It's constant. I'm getting hit from both sides. It's hilarious. It's crazy. I wish you guys could sit in my seat for 1 minute, not because it's a bad job, not because I don't love it. I have the best job in the whole world, but sometimes it's hilarious, and I wish I could share the experience with you. It's not out of a negative place. I wish I could share this vantage point with all of you, because you would laugh. You would get a different feeling than you've ever had before when it comes to questions and answers. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry, Second Chance Steven. You're such a patient man.
No worries,
Steven, you sound like a young kid. Are you a young kid?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You're 20. So you don't have kids yet or anything?
No.
Steven, you remember I said this. You're going to be an excellent father. You're going to be an excellent father. You are a patient man. You are a kind man. And it's going to pay off for you, okay? Don't change. Hit me with it. What do you got?
Smitty. Okay, so I don't know how far you got into me telling you my roster. If you need me to say it over, I can.
Burrow, Eckler, Chubb, ETN, Waddle, T. Higgins, Everett, and then you were going to give me your bench players, and I think I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I have Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Spiller as my handcuffs, and then I have Jalen Warren, Kadarius Toney, and Wendell Robinson. I don't know which one to put at the flex, or if I should trade one of my running backs for maybe a lower running back in a flex. I was just wondering if you had any ideas.
Let's see here. Burrow, Eckler, Chubb, ETN, Waddle, T. Higgins, and then you have a open flex. I mean, Tony's your clear-cut flex right now, bro. Everyone and their mother loves starting this guy right now, and he could fall on his face, and the entire fantasy football planet is going to collapse and into a depression, because everyone wants this to happen. Everybody's waiting for this explosion to happen, and it very well could. And I'm on board too. I'm on the train. But it's a no-brainer at this point. There are people that are starting Tony and benching players that you currently have in your lineup for Tony this week. So some people are contemplating T. Higgins. Like, do I sit T. Higgins? Do I sit Dameon Pierce? So you have an easy dilemma on your hands. Who cares if Warren or Hunt outscored Tony? You're not going to be upset over missing that. But if you're not on board this first week out, that everybody's expecting this explosion, and it feels like it's telegraphed, meaning that it's easy to see coming. That Tony exploding is probably likely. Could it fall on its face? It certainly could. But you have Travis Kelce talking up, saying that he doesn't even understand or fathom how the Giants got rid of this guy. He's so talented. And the fact that Hardman's on IR, he's out at least 4 weeks. Juju's ruled out. There's nothing but opportunity sitting in front of this guy. Patrick Mahomes be throwing sidearms and underarms and through the legs around the back to him. And Tony's going to be hopping on one leg into the end zone. It's going to be a sidearm dive to Tony, who catches it with one hand and hops on one leg and spins around in a circle, does a flip. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. It's like a circus. But we're going to enjoy every minute of it. It's Mahomes to Tony, How is it going to start? How is it going to end? Who's going to be the one flipping and circling and somersaulting into the end zone sideways? It's going to be madness. Get him in your lineup.
Okay, so you don't think I need to make any trades maybe for the playoffs? You know, Hardman's on the IR, but do you think Kadarius Toney will still be a fine flex for the playoffs? Should I just not maybe touch my team?
We don't have the answer to that, bro. We don't have the. You're gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. Get your popcorn ready. Let's see Tony go out there for 1 week. Let's not get carried away. Let's put him out there and get hyped about it. But let's let the 1 week tell the story, and then we'll go from there. But we don't know. There's nothing you can do. What are you gonna trade? You've got a really solid lineup with a bunch of really good players. I don't know that I'm moving anything unless you're getting trading T Higgins for St. Brown. I would do that. Higgins and Everett for Mark Andrews, maybe. I would maybe do that. But past that, I think I'm letting this ride. I like Gabe Davis. If you want to maybe swap like a Warren or a Hunt for Gabe Davis is a great go get right now. Pittman's a decent player to go get using like a Hunt, something like that.
All right.
All right, bro. Good. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Mitty.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait to see what happens on in this Chiefs game. I'd rather have Tony unless Judy misses time. You're talking about Sutton or Tony? I'd rather have Tony. Trade Josh Jacobs for Rashad White. Get Eckler. Trade Josh Jacobs and Rashad White and get Eckler. Take Eckler and run. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, it's Blake. What's up, Smitty?
What's up? Can you hang tight real quick, Blake? I got to answer these super chats real quick. Thoughts on Deshaun Watson for the playoffs? Terry, I like him in a lot of places where, people are struggling at quarterback. When you've got like a decision of Danny Dimes and Goff, and then you've got Watson because I told you to pick him up weeks and weeks ago, and he's been sitting out there on waivers, and I told you there'd be a time where he wouldn't be sitting there anymore as people got closer and closer to week 13. I like him. I think he's a really decent solution for people that messed up and didn't draft the right quarterback, or they just got stuck with a bust that was hard to see coming, even Herbert. But Herbert, I think, bounces back. Trade my Debo for Jeff Wilson. Honestly, I'd probably rather have Jeff Wilson right now, and that feels like I don't know, it feels bad to say that. I don't know. I'd try and get more. Certainly, but Wilson looks absolutely great right now, and he's in an offense that made Debo look great. Everything we remember about Debo, that was there because of McDaniel coaching in San Francisco, and he brought all of that with him to Miami. And so that's why Wilson looks like fire, because of McDaniel's play calling and scheming. And, I'm Shanahan had something to do with it too. And McDaniel, grew under Shanahan. So Shanahan does get some credit. But my point is, this guy is better than Shanahan probably at this point in his career. And sometimes the student learns more than the master and the teacher. So I take Wilson, but I try and get more. Guilty says, what's up, Smitty? I subscribed on Instagram this morning. How do I go about leaving voicemails? Can you DM me real quick on Instagram? I'm going to get to you after the show. There's another individual. Was it you? Was it you that's on the line right now?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, it's so ironic. And your name was what again?
It's Blake.
Blake. I'm sorry, Blake. I have the memory of an elephant that got hit by a truck.
Mine's worse than that.
Yeah, not because. Let me preface that. Not because I've got a bad memory. It's just overload from what I do for a living. Like, I can only retain so much in this noggin, and if I don't let a lot of stuff go, I wouldn't be able to remember what I do remember. I've got so many thousands of different, stimuli hit me at once. But hey, you sent me a DM on IG as well, right?
I I did, yes.
Okay, so Guilty, are you out there, Guilty? I think Guilty's still out there. Guilty, make sure you DM me on IG so I have a fresh DM from you. I'm going to add you to the exclusive group, and inside that exclusive group, Guilty and Blake, you're going to leave a voice message in there whenever you want throughout the day, and I'll play them and answer them on my show on the daily. If I ever miss one, I might do it the next day or the next show, or I might create a voicemail only show or something like that. But it's gonna be awesome place for you to get attention. And if anybody else wants to become a part of what Blake's talking about, go to my Instagram and you click on subscription or subscribe on my profile. So go to The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram, click on subscriptions, and it's $4.99 a month, and it gets you on into an exclusive chat, which I linger in and hang out all day, but you get to talk to all the other people in the chat about your trades, and everybody helps each other out. It's amazing. And then you leave the voicemails there, and I play them on the show on the daily. So it's like it's double direct access to me, and it's $4.99 a month on Instagram. So it's awesome. Blake, what can I help you with?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. Man, this guy is Mystic Mac over here, right? He's fortune telling. He has literally created my lineup for the year.
Who?
I feel
Who?
blessed. I have so many. I'm talking about you, man.
Oh.
I've been listening to your show since day one.
Okay, sorry. I kind of like dozed off for a second because I was reading all these different things on my screen, and I'm like, okay, he's talking about somebody. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let's start over.
Okay, so because I've been following the show, I have so many RB1s. And so I don't need RB1s anymore, right? I have so many of them. But what I do need is a second wide receiver one. I have Diggs, I have Olave, I have Garrett Wilson, and I have Treylon Burks as well. And so I just don't know if any of these guys are going to prove themselves this year. I know you keep talking about Olave, but I'm wondering if I should shift one of my running backs over to like an Amari Cooper and a Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then my last thought is maybe a Cooper Cup. But I think you had mentioned that that's just a really bad idea. What do you think?
I mean, unless he gets dropped and you can pick him up and, like, tell me your running backs.
Okay, get ready for this. Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne.
Jeez.
Rashad White.
How is this a 12 team or a 10?
10.
Still good. And who's your tight end?
Buddy, tight ends are Dalton Schultz and Kyle Pitts.
And you probably lost Brees or Javonte too, huh?
No, I almost traded for Brees. I actually called you on a 15-minute call in the past. I was trying to get Brees Hall, and you just didn't agree with my trade, so I never did it. And so I got fortunate.
Yeah, okay. Good. Yeah, your team's fired. Who's your quarterback?
I have two. I have Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Who I'm ready to fire up.
Watson. Okay. So, Barkley, JT, Walker, you start. How many running backs and how many wide receivers and how many flexes?
Just the standard. So, 2 RB, 1 flex, 2 receiver, 1 QB, 1 TE.
Okay. So, we're going with Barkley and JT. And then you're going with Diggs and Olave. And you're going with Walker or ETN. And you've got to sit one of those guys each week.
Oh, right. Man. It's a battle figuring out who to sit, honestly.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the problem.
My goal is to find the elite level wide receiver one if I can. Right? I really want to be, I mean, even if I don't win, I just want to look the best. I want to look like a shining star out of the league. I do this every year. I don't know how I fucking do it. I watch people like
I don't even want to win. I just want to look like a shining. Bro, that is some of the funniest things. Okay, you said Burks. You have Burks as well?
Yeah, I got Burks last year. I actually picked him up this week. I was like, man, this guy just came off.
So is he in your lineup or just your bench?
He's on my bench right now.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I know what your bench is. So your lineup is Barkley, JT, Diggs, Olave, and then your flex is
Mhm.
Walker, and your bench is so do I have that right? It's Barkley, JT, Walker, Diggs, Olave. Is that correct?
Right, correct.
And that's you can't start any more running backs or wide receivers. That's it, right?
Yeah, I had too
Okay.
many.
So I'm just trying to get your lineup correct. Okay, so ETN is on the bench, or Walker's on the bench, or JT's on the bench, however you want to word that. So here's the deal, bro. I like Olave. I don't know that you need to worry so much about replacing Olave, because the moment you do and he goes crazy, you're gonna be like, dang it, Olave's on my bench. I'm not saying don't trade him. I'm just saying I don't know. I kind of like the idea of you being able to weather any storm that comes at you. And I think, Burks is okay as a backup wide receiver. Olave and Diggs are fantastic wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2s. I don't know that you need to do anything. However, would I trade ETN and Olave, or ETN and I'd be tempted to trade, like, I don't even know who you trade, Walker, ETN, or JT. It might just depend on.
I love all of them. I was thinking amping up someone with Rachaad White, because everybody knows Rachaad White is probably going to take the bug off. Oh, sorry, I can't say that word. Sorry, he's probably going to take off. And so I could have a chance at another receiver. But do you think I should just hold Rachaad White, expecting him to just be this league winner from Arizona? We haven't even seen his passing game.
I mean, I definitely don't like trading him low, but if you can trade him and get, like, if you could trade White and Olave and get a Lamb or something to upgrade, then I'd do it. I would just get it done. Evans would be another wide receiver. Adams for ETN is acceptable if you need to get that deal done. I'd be tempted to, like, trade ETN for Mark Andrews and a player. If you got like a player back, but I'm almost also tempted to just leave your team, because you have the perfect amount of depth. You don't have a surplus. I'd maybe use ETN to get into a Jalen Hurts, or to get into a quarterback that's going to be more like Lamar, or I feel like that might be where you want to go. Fields, maybe, yeah. I mean, ETN for Fields, it'd be hard to do that trade, but maybe you get more in return or something. But that might be more beneficial for your team. If you get a quarterback like Hurts in there, I don't see how anybody's going to hang with you, man. So I'd focus more on that. I wouldn't focus on your wide receiver 1. Let Olave make you look like a genius, man. He'll make you look like a bright, shining star. Olave should be coming into his own here. And, kind of like Chase did in double-digit weeks last year. People gave up on him. He went dormant. He went into a dormant mode, and that's what Olave's been doing. He's going kind of dormant. And these rookie wide receivers have to push through that rookie wall. They're used to these short college seasons, and they kind of die down for a little bit, and the good ones get rejuvenated, get a second wind. And Olave, much like Jamar Chase last year, should take off after he gets through that rookie wall and gets his second wind, gets used to the pro length of a season. I don't know, bro. I think your quarterback is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, and I got Deshaun Watson in there, man. Like, you don't think that he's going to be a fair quarterback the rest of the season?
He could be.
Right? You don't think that maybe
he could
that
be.
team just balls out? They want to show off
They
their
keep
new
it.
weapon?
Keep it then. I would probably just keep this or go after Adams for ETN. Go after Adams. Yeah. Go after Adams. Go after, JJ using ETN and I don't think White's going to do it, but ETN and Olave for JJ's tempting. I don't think you're going to get that.
Do you prefer Walker over ETN, I'm guessing?
I don't, I go back and forth. I use ETN because I wrote him on the side, but to be honest with you, I don't know. I wish I could answer that question. It's like asking me to choose children. There's no real way to answer that question without, like, second guessing the whole way. It's like Walker, ETN, Walker. I don't know. And I don't want to get rid of JT or Barkley, because I feel like those two are top 4 overall running backs, overall players potentially.
Oh man, I know. It's just crazy to have a team with those two on it. It's
yeah, but you don't need to. But you don't need to shove all the talent into the lineup. There's a lot of cases where I tell people to trade your surplus and improve your lineup, but your lineup is already such fire that I don't think it's one of those cases where you just need to keep trying to shove it all into your lineup. If you can upgrade Murray and Watson into a top, go after Josh Allen. Give Murray back. Etienne and Murray for Josh Allen. I know you like Watson and trust your gut, but I would be plenty happy with that. Does the chat agree? Does anybody disagree? Does anybody think he should not go after a Josh Allen?
Trade to him.
You what?
I said that's a heck of a trade to him, or giving him a little potency for playoff potential. Well, I mean, you don't get to see his lineup either, but he does have a shot at the playoffs and potentially victory. I mean, all of these guys have a potential to just take off at any given week, right? I have a guy over here with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown stacked, right? So when those two take off, it hurts.
Does anybody think he should stand still or trade Etienne for a quarterback upgrade? Vote in the chat for him and let him know. Patrick Mahomes, go get Mahomes.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine Deshaun. I might be crazy. A lot of people would probably battle this against me, but I would imagine Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, a pretty neck and neck rest of the season.
If you think that, stay with it, bro. But I don't agree with that. Deshaun Watson hasn't played football in how long, and he looked really bad in the preseason.
It could be like riding a bicycle for that dude.
I don't think so. It could be. It could be, and it might not be. It didn't look like it in the. I know it's the preseason, but it didn't look like it. He looked very rusty, man. He looked very rusty, and he hasn't played football in a long time. He's got a lot of pressure on him. I think he could come out and drop fire, but would I rather have Mahomes in your lineup, bro? If you had Mahomes in your lineup, it's game over. I would say, here's what I'd say, and I agree with Rick. Rick said Mahomes, and I was saying Josh Allen, and you didn't want to give Josh Allen to that guy that has Josh Allen because you think his team would look too good. So I agree with Rick in the chat. Mahomes. If you can't get Mahomes, like Rick just said, maybe you just stand still and you let Watson prove that you are a bright, shining star. And let him do it, and use a little of your own intuition here instead of just worrying about what I'm saying. You have a gut feeling. You're fighting me on it, so clearly you have a gut feeling. I want you to stick with. Don't worry about what I say. Don't worry about what anybody says. You took what I said, and I said some good stuff, and I said some stuff that didn't land. That's any analyst, right? You had the fortitude to decipher what was good information that you believed in, also, and what information you decided to let fall to the wayside, and you sifted through my content in a way that helped you dominate. So continue on the course of using what I say, but also incorporating what you think. And I can tell right now you want to go Watson very badly. So trust your gut, bro.
Yeah, you stacked my team. And again, before I jump off, the Cooper Cup situation, you would leave that alone?
I mean, I don't know he's coming back. Think about it from the Rams' perspective. McVay already put him out there when he shouldn't have. He already knew better. Like, you already got him hurt to begin with the first time. Then he puts him out there when he doesn't need to be out there, and he's out for for 4 games. Now it's like they come back. They got what, 3 wins right now? 3 wins or 2 wins? I think 3 wins. They're not making the playoffs. So if let's say he's out the 4, I'd say 4 to 6 weeks minimum. Let's say he misses 4 weeks. Or 5 weeks. Let's say he misses 5 weeks. What's he going to do? They're going to bring him back for nothing and get him hurt again, rush him back? Like, I don't know why they would do that. I think it would be a very dumb move. So could they do it? Yes. But will he be very, very spotty the first game back? He will, I think. So then if he's out 5 games, he's really out 6 games. And will he really be back to normal in game 7? Will they even need him? I don't know. I just don't think it's smart to trade for him. At what cost, though? Burks? I'd trade Burks for him.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. So you think Burks is a perfect trade for Cooper Cup, correct?
Yeah, I guess I'd do that. Sure.
Okay.
Is that what you said earlier? Burks for him?
Excellent. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The only reason I was afraid. No, that's okay. I was only afraid that maybe Burks would actually provide some. Strong wide receiver 2 value.
Yeah, he's okay. Like, I don't mind Burks, but I didn't hear you say Burks. I'm sorry. Maybe I cut you off before you even did. I don't know.
No,
but
all good.
I would trade Burks for him. Sure. Why not?
All right, 100%. I'll do it. why not? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
excellent. Thanks
who,
for your
care,
help,
who
man.
cares at that point? You know what I mean? Like you don't even need them, and yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you. Later.
All right, later, dude. Bye.
Okay, let's get these 2 super chats out of the way. I'm gonna turn the phone line off for a second, guys, because I got to get through these 2 super chats, and then I might come back and answer some more phone calls here. $10 holler from my boy Double R with a $10 holler. Double R, appreciate you. To the moon, good kind sir, my man, the myth, the legend. Let's see here. He says traded away Evans, Watson, Wilson, Gus, and Hunt for Cook, Pittman, and Mooney. Traded away Evans, Gus, and Hunt. Evans, Watson. I assume that's Christian Watson. Evans, Christian Watson, Wilson, and Gus Edwards for Hunt, Cook, Pittman, and Mooney. I assume that's Jeff Wilson. Double, you didn't give me any initials, bro. There's multiple Wilsons in the league. There's multiple Watsons in the league. I know that's Gus Edwards. That one I got on lock. I know that's Hunt. I'm going to say it's Christian Watson and Jeff Wilson. That's the best guess I have here. So I'm going to say give me Evans and Jeff Wilson over the Cook side. If that's Zach Wilson and Deshaun Watson, then Evans is the only player on that side of the trade, and I probably say, while still arguable, Cook is the better player. But if that is Zach Wilson, Evans and Zach Wilson win that side of the trade because Zach Wilson's playing like fire. Appreciate your super chat, my dude, Double R. You're the man. Avi, bounce back, time to believe, says Avi. Avi, appreciate you. Bounce back season. Johnny, PPR, Jackson, Henry, ETN, Jamar Chase, Lamb, Gabe Davis, Andrews, Michael Carter, Godwin, Judy, Pats D. Anything you think I could do to improve 6-4? It's a good squad. 6-4, you probably can't wait on Chase. I don't think I'm getting crazy by trading him away, although I'd listen and entertain like a Evans trade. Gabe Davis, I like quietly. Leave him right there. Andrews, I like. Godwin's great on the bench. He's actually good depth, but would I trade like Godwin and maybe I don't know that you need to like Godwin and Gabe Davis for a little upgrade wide receiver to like you could even maybe. What could you get for Godwin and Gabe Davis? Or Godwin and who? Godwin and Jamar Chase for an Adams, maybe? I'd maybe do that. Like, because think about it. Like, Jamar Chase and Adams, I'd rather have Adams. Even if Jamar Chase comes back to full strength, to get Adams right now, to have him, I feel like Adams is safer. Because you don't know what's going to really happen like 2 weeks into Jamar Chase being back. So is Godwin worth that security? Probably. Or Adams worth that security? Probably. Is giving away Godwin worth that security? It's just a thought. I could be overthinking it there. I don't know if anybody disagrees. But Johnny, appreciate you for the $5 holler, Johnny. So Double R, Johnny, Terry Roberts, Anthony Murphy with the trade my Debo for Wilson. I got that one out of the way. Guilty, Avi. And then Avi's the last super chat that I have currently to catch up. I want to put that right here, and I'm going to answer Ozzy. Ozzy the Great has been a YouTube exclusive member for 11 months. Ozzy, I'm sorry it took me so long to answer this. I have Lamar Jackson and Watson. What value do you think Watson owners can get back in a trade for him? You have Watson probably like a Gabe Davis, probably a Foreman, maybe a Stevenson if someone's struggling at quarterback and they're doubting Stevenson right now, but that's a tall order. That's a big ask. Jeff Wilson's probably too much, but you could try. Mark Andrews, probably not going to happen unless you throw in another tight end. But absolutely appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much for the being the exclusive member on the 2 Sunday video calls. Ozzy, you need to make sure you call in more on the Sunday calls, my guy. We need you in there. Top 15 overall rest of season. JJ, Barkley, Eckler, Tyreek, CMC, Henry, Diggs, JT, Devontae Adams, Etienne Walker, Chubb Mixon, Jamar Chase, and Alvin Kamara. Thank you, Avi, for dropping your rankings. That was Avi. Avi's been dropping them all night in Super Chats. I kind of enjoy it. Thank you. Avi's the man. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Smitty. My name's Draven. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Draven? What can I do for you?
First thing is, I've been watching you like recently. What's your favorite NFL team? Who do you rep?
I'm in Arizona, so the Cardinals are obviously my team. I've been here my whole life, so loyal Cardinal fan. But I kind of have the luxury of not really worrying too much about fandom because I've been doing this for 20 years now. I haven't been doing YouTube and video for 20 years, but I did radio and fantasy football content, which you can find. This has been my bread and butter for 20 years is the content side. TheFantasyFootballShow.com. Go there, get your trade calculator, which I invented in the fantasy industry, the first front-facing, customer-facing, instant-based trade calculator, which I've tweaked over 20 years. Bold predictions, rankings, the one-on-one text device. But I started doing YouTube. This is my 4th year. And we are at one more subscriber. We're at 17K. One more subscriber and we're at 17K. If you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, you're going to be number 17,000 right now. Who's going to be number 17? I mean, let's see here. Let me turn this on so we can see it, who it is. Let's see here. All right, so we have it up. We'll be able to tell who's number 17,000, I believe, when it comes rolling in. But appreciate everybody. So yeah, I have the luxury. What I was going to say, I'm sorry I interrupted myself. I've had the luxury of not looking at this stuff. We got 17K. We did it, Mom. We did it. Although I don't know. We didn't get to see who it was. I can probably look it up, but appreciate whoever was the number 17,000. Where is that? I should have seen it pop up, but it didn't. Anyways, I've had the luxury of what I've been trying to say for like 5 minutes of not having too much skin in the game for a team from a fandom perspective because I'm just looking at it from an analyst perspective, an NFL and fantasy football fan. I don't care about anybody scoring against the Cardinals. I'm not rooting against a player scoring against my Cardinals. A lot of analysts will be like, when the game's on, I don't care about fantasy. I care about fantasy. I've always been that way. I learned fantasy football as I became an NFL fan. So that was the first time I ever played it. Fantasy football, I really didn't watch a lot of football. I was young. I was a little kid. And so I went over to a buddy's house. We drafted on Tecmo Bowl. We did a fantasy football draft in March on Tecmo Bowl, and then we simulated the season. And we tried it. We put in like $5 each, and we started drafting teams. And that's how I got into fantasy football, was on just drafting simulated teams on Tecmo Bowl. So, that's been thank you for the super chat, Poyer. Thank you for hitting 17K. We're at 17,003. You guys are absolutely unreal. We did it, Mom. We did it. What else can I help you with, bro?
Okay, so
Jeremy,
my team's sitting pretty good right now. Like I am 7-3, but I'm kind of slacking at the tight end. And the two tight ends I can make a trade for is Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. I'm more likely to get the Mark Andrews trade, but I was wondering if you can help me. It's going to have to be a 2-for-1, I think. But if you can, I'll tell you my team and you tell me who I can trade to get this tight end.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. By the way, Jeremy was subscriber 17,000. It finally showed up on the screen. Jeremy, congratulations. Number 17,000. Look at that bad boy. All right, what can okay, hit me with it, bro. What's your team?
Okay. Justin Field, Dante Foreman, JT, D-Hop, Traylon Burks, which I just picked him up for the Thursday night football game. Amazing. Dalton Schultz, Allen. And then on my bench, I got Kenneth Walker, Wilson, Jay Wilson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and Metcalf.
Okay. What are we doing here?
I want to get Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews, and they said for me to come back with a decent trade, and if it's decent enough, they'll accept it. But it's got to be decent.
So I hate doing this with the lineups. Let's put your team together in full effect here. So Foreman, like I don't really care about your lineup this week. I want to know what your team looks like. Okay, so Walker, JT, Tyreek Hill instead of Burks. Hill, Burks over here. Jamar Chase, Schultz. Is that Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen, yes.
Chase when he comes back. Is Jeff Wilson a flex for you? Can you start Jeff Wilson?
Yeah, he's a flex.
And then DK's on your bench?
Yeah, he's a bye week.
Okay, so Foreman,
they're both buys, like
Foreman, DK, and Burks. Okay, so here's your team. Let's treat it proper, okay? Fields, Walker, JT, Hill, Chase, Dalton, Schultz, Jeff Wilson. Would I trade DK? I think we already went over this. DK and Schultz for Kelce. I'd do that in a heartbeat. For Mark Andrews, I would probably do that in a heartbeat. Would I throw in Burks for Kelce? Absolutely. Would I trade Foreman, DK, and Schultz for Kelce? I'd trade all three of them for Kelce. Would I trade Jamar Chase for Kelce? Probably. Would I trade Hill? No. Would I trade JT? No. Would I trade Walker? No. Would I trade Fields? No. Would I trade Jeff Wilson? Sure. Jeff Wilson for Kelce? You're not going to get that done. Jeff Wilson and Schultz for Kelce? I would do that.
So these guys are like, they want my powerhouse. They want like a JT and then Wilson for Travis Kelce.
I bet they do.
They want like. They don't want.
Well,
like,
you give them Jamar Chase. You give them Jamar Chase if they want a powerhouse player, but you can't give them Walker. You can't give them JT. You can't give them Hill. Every single one of those players I draft over Travis Kelce. So how are you going to give them one of those players and more? I'm not doing it. I like Kelce, bro. He's amazing. But I'm taking Tyreek Hill ahead of him. I'm taking JT ahead of him. I'm drafting Walker ahead of him. So they either get two players for one, or they're not going to get a trade done if I'm in control of it, unless it's going to be Jamar Chase who's out. So I would give Jamar Chase and Burks. I would give Jamar Chase and Schultz for Kelce. That's a lot to pay. You know, they should be glad and thank you for giving them Schultz and Jamar Chase for Kelce if they're in a bind and they need another wide receiver or whatever. But I'm not giving him JT and something. I draft JT over Kelce. What am I going to give JT? What am I going to give JT and Wilson for? You know.
So the trade that he wanted, was Kenneth Walker and Jamar Chase for Travis Kelce.
Yeah, well, a boy can dream. You know, in Christmas Story, you wanted a Red Ryder BB gun with a compass that tells time. And he ended up getting it at the end of the day, but he didn't get it when he wanted it, did he? He wanted it on that slide. And you need to take your foot and shove that man down the slide and tell him he's going to shoot his eye out next time he tries to get JT and Wilson or Walker and Chase for Kelce. Get out of here with that.
That's why I told you that the Mark Andrews trade is more likely to happen.
So
now what?
Do what I said there. Foreman and DK for Andrews. Foreman and Schultz for Andrews. Maybe Jeff Wilson and Schultz for Andrews. Although I try not to do that because I really like Jeff Wilson a lot.
Do you like him over Kenneth Walker?
Who?
Jeff Wilson over Kenneth Walker.
You're really asking me? You really asking me that right now?
They both want Kenneth Walker.
Are you really asking me that right now? I'm sorry. What was your name again? I keep forgetting your name.
Draven.
Draven, you really asking me that right now, Draven?
Okay, I think Kenneth Walker is way better than Jeff Wilson, but you've been like talking high on them, so I don't I don't know if you really like them or if you know something I don't know and he's gonna blow up because you predict everything. So
Well, but Kenneth Walker is in my top like 5 or 6 or 7 overall players, bro. Like I love Jeff Wilson. He looks really good, but are you really gonna draft Jeff Wilson in the top 2 rounds if you're drafting today? For weeks 11 through 17, probably not. Like, is he borderline? No. I mean, who knows where he is? I mean, honestly, Jeff Wilson's one of those guys where I could do a mock draft and then really be shocked at how high I rank Jeff Wilson. Like, I'm admitting that, but you're talking about not even close to the same ADP, bro. So okay, let me end it here because I got to jump to the next caller. But this is simple, bro. You're not getting Kelsey. These guys are dancing around. They don't want to trade Kelsey for a reasonable price. So unless they change their mind and come knocking for Schultz and DK, that's a non-issue. For Mark Andrews, I would trade Schultz and DK. I would trade Wilson. I'd rather not trade Wilson. I'd trade Foreman and DK. I'd trade Foreman, DK, and Burks all for Mark Andrews. I'd trade Schultz, Foreman, and Burks for Mark Andrews. I don't know that I'd give Foreman, DK, and Schultz for Mark Andrews, but I'd certainly give DK and Schultz. I'd certainly give Foreman and Schultz. I would give Burks and Foreman. I just wouldn't give DK, Schultz, and Foreman all for Mark Andrews, and I'd probably try and leave Wilson out of it because I think Wilson's very undervalued. That's it. There's no other discussion. No Walker, no JT, no Fields, no Hill, not even Jamar Chase because Mark Andrews is injured. And I like him a lot, but he's injured. And that's it. That's it. Other than that, you're not going in. You're just rolling in with Schultz, man. You can't force this thing or you're going to dismantle a team that's going to win it. And you got a really good team. Don't overthink it. Play your guys. They've got you here this far. You got a rock-solid squad. Yeah. They want to dismantle it. They want to take it apart. They're like vultures, and you can't let them do it.
Okay, I appreciate you. I'll call you like some other time and let you know if the trade goes.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
What I ended up getting.
All
right, thank you.
You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Smitty, what's up?
What's up? Who's this?
24 hours.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
So, I got a question. I'm kind of new to best ball, so I joined a best ball dynasty league this year. So, if this wasn't best ball, it probably wouldn't be a question.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a trade offer on the table. I'll tell you the trade first. Then, if you need to hear my team,
you have a trade offer in best ball.
Yeah, it's best ball, but it's also dynasty. So it's dynasty best ball.
Okay, that's crazy. So you can trade. Okay, I got you. That's fine.
All right, so I'm
best ball.
It's gonna sound crazy, but to give some context, I made 2 trades this week. So my team was like a middling team. I lost Breece Hall and Zach Ertz. So I traded Breece Hall, Freiermuth, and my own first. I got back Derrick Henry, Juju, Cooper, and the other guy's first and second. So his first and second is probably going to be higher than mine if I'm going to compete this year, which is my option to. That's where I'm going if I'm trading away Breece, right? So I made another move which surprised me. So the dude offered me this trade. I had Fields, who went off the last 2 weeks. He scored like 40 points in the last 2 weeks in this league. So I got a trade offer that came to me. I gave him Fields, Juju, who I just got, and Foster Moreau, and I got Josh Allen and A.J. Brown. So I smashed that. But now I have another offer from the same dude who just gave me Josh Allen. He wants Josh Allen back, right? So I'm going to give him Josh Allen. So here's the trade offer I got on the table. I don't know if I should take this or not. Because now with Josh Allen, my team looks pretty good.
Bro,
so I'll tell you my team. But
okay, you're going 100,000 miles an hour. Okay, so now he wants Josh Allen back because this guy's got ADD. He's got anxiety. He works in a cubicle.
Like 2 hours after he gave me Josh Allen.
His wife runs his life. Hold on. His wife runs his life. She puts his clothes out for him. This guy's got no control. He drives a minivan to work. Every single day, this guy eats the same thing in his cubicle in his little plastic tub. Never is allowed to even buy a lunch at the cafeteria. He has to bring his lunch because his wife won't let him. He made a trade. He didn't check with his wife. Now he needs Josh Allen back, and he needs him right now. So tell me what it is that he's going to surrender to get Josh Allen back. Go.
Yeah. So honestly, people were giving him shit in the chat, so he like I think he instantly regretted the trade, so he started sending me all these offers. But the best offer he gave me back was I'm going to give him Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, who I just picked up off waivers, and Devin Singletary. All right, so I give him those 3 players. I get back Austin Eckler, Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, and his next 2 23 first and a 24 first. But they're going to be late. If I give him Josh Allen back, now he's going to have Josh Allen on Fields. So his team's probably going to be late. I could probably still compete if I had Jones and Geno Smith because it's a best ball league. So I also have Tua and
Is it
Aaron
a
Rodgers.
1 or 2 QB league?
It's a super flex.
I don't know if you made a great. I mean, you got the first rounders, which I like and all, but like trading Josh Allen away in a super flex. I mean, Eckler in a dynasty super flex. Eckler's barely a first rounder. You know,
I didn't do the last trade. I didn't do the third trade yet. So right now I still have Josh Allen on my team.
I don't know that I'm not so quick to say that that's like I would make him overpay. This is like it's super flex, bro. Josh Allen's the number 1 overall player in a super flex. I think you make this guy, you send this guy to work crying every day until he comes to you and gives you the world. He's given you a continent. We need him to give you the world, or you're not making this trade. I don't think. I like I like the AJB and Josh Allen move you got right here. So here's what I'm going to say. Let me break it down like this. This was not a good trade. This first trade, giving away Breece Hall, a first rounder for Derrick Henry, who is 27 years old. Is he 28 yet? This guy is on the decline after this season if he makes it through the whole year, which he still could, and there's a lot of time left. We have week 11, we have week 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. We still have 8 weeks to go. So he's still got a lot of time to try and stay healthy, and he could. And he's looking really good, and I admit, he looks a lot better. But I did say that probably around double-digit weeks is a potential injury point for him. So it's not like I'm even off track right now for my prediction. A lot of people said I was wrong. I didn't really say anything other than he will potentially most likely will break this season right around double-digit weeks. Get rid of him before double-digit weeks. Same thing I said last year. Get rid of him before double-digit weeks. I got clowned on all year because he was doing well, and he broke. So I still might end up being right on this. But even if he makes it through this year, this is probably it. I don't see how it's humanly possible for a man that's going to have, I don't know how many carries he's going to have, 1,300 carries in like a 2.5 year, or a 3.5 year window of time. It'll be like right around 1,300 or 1,400 carries or something, whatever, in a 3.5 year window of time. That's not in his whole career. That's just the last 3.5 years. And so in a dynasty league period, he's not even worth a third rounder. Like if you were to draft him in dynasty startup mode, you would take him in probably the 4th round, or some would take him in the 3rd round to try and win. Now, assuming they'll assume he does good for one more year. So I don't like this trade because I don't know that you have anything of note next year, right here. But you did end up taking. What?
Sorry, to give you a little context, he just lost Cooper Kupp off his team. So me taking Henry, Juju, Cooper, and Dolchich off him and giving him back Breece and Freiermuth, like his first, which was like a middle first, is likely to be like a top 3 pick next year, which in Dynasty I think is about as valuable as
if it's the 1.1. I don't know about the top 3 doesn't necessarily do it for me. If it's Bijan Robinson, then I like it. But I thought you said you were getting rid of the first.
No, I gave him my first for his first. And his
okay.
My first with this trade is going to be like a late pick,
I don't
maybe
know.
1.9.
I don't know if you said that in a way that didn't compute, but
no,
okay. So
I gave him Breece, Freiermuth, and my first for Henry, Juju. Cooper,
that makes more sense now. Because I got it on the board. I got it on the board. I don't know if you're watching, but you didn't say anything, so I figured this was correct. Okay.
Yeah. So my first, I pretty much swapped first with him, but my first is going to get later with this pick, and his first is going to get earlier with this trade.
I still don't know how I love it until we know. I mean, and that's part of the gamble here. If this turns out to be the 1.1, then I love it. If it turns out to be the 3 pick, I mean, we know how it goes. Like the 3rd pick isn't any sort of lock. It's nice, but
This helps me compete this year too, and then because of that trade, then I was able to make the next trade
True.
for Josh Allen
True.
and Brown.
True.
But now
So-
my team's pretty like.
Yeah.
I
So
got
what
a
I
chance to compete this year.
what I was going to
That's what I
say
think
is,
this year.
you crushed the second trade. I don't do that other trade. I don't let this man get back into the Josh Allen game without him literally making another grave mistake that he's going to come begging you to undo again.
I'll let him cry for a couple weeks, and then I'll send him a counter offer.
Yeah. So you have Fields still, right?
I know. I traded Fields to get Allen. That was the trade. He wanted Fields, so it was Fields.
Okay, yeah.
Juju, and
I'm
Rose.
confused on what
Allen.
you even have anymore, so I'm just going to erase it. But yeah, don't trade Josh Allen in the Superflex. Make him overpay.
I have Allen, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Ryan as my quarterback
Yeah.
right now.
All right, man. Think
Let's
you
stick with that.
maxed my brain out for this call. I appreciate you.
Sorry. All right.
Call back another time. All right. That was a big one. Dude had like 7,000 things going on. Although he did deliver it pretty fast and in pretty fluid context. So good job, Open24. Call back again anytime, but I had to move on. All right. 6 and 4, Fields, Watson, CMC, Mixon, Swift, Diggs, Tyreek, St. Brown, Tony, Palmer, Kittle. Going to lose this week. Any moves to make? I mean, Mixon, CMC, Swift, Diggs, Tyreek. It's a great team. Swift, I'm trading Swift if I can. Swift and Kittle for Edward or for Mark Andrews. Swift and Kittle. Obviously I try for Kelsey, but I take Andrew or Mark Andrews for that. Past that, man, there's not much to do there. You got a squad. I take that squad into battle. I'm not really messing too much with that team. That's a really good team. Just get it done. Do I flex Connor, Olave, Mike Williams, Mooney, or Pollard? I think Olave is my favorite of this group, but Connor's very safe. But it is a tough matchup against the Niners, who will be hungry to shut him down. Give me Olave. It just feels smart. It feels smart. It feels safe. It's still got as much upside as anybody on the list, so why not go with the guy that has the most upside, or at least equal upside, and probably safest. 9 and 1. Look at you. Look at you, Clayton, with a K. 12 team, half PPR, 9 and 1. Just traded Dalvin and Zeke for CMC. Come on, bro. That's crazy. Alvin Foreman are my other running back. Smitty approved. Of course it is.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I appreciate your super chat. That's absolute fire, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing taking advantage of your friends like that? Grandma. This is rate grandma over the coals, man. $10 hauler from a boy, Timothy.
To the moon.
Timothy to the moon. Appreciate you, Timothy. Timbo says 10-team league, 0.5, 6 and 4, 1 RB, 1 wide receiver, 4 flex. That's a weird lineup. Who made this up? The commissioner he played in this league. He was able to dominate this league, so he dragged 11 of his friends into a complex, hard to navigate league so he could dominate them for the first couple of years. Like, who makes up this league? 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 4 flex. Fields, Lamb. Is this 1 QB? I don't see super flex anywhere. Fields, Lamb, Barkley, Pierce, St. Brown, Higgins, Olave, Freiermuth, benches, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Rondell. It's interesting. I love St. Brown. I love Pierce. Okay, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver is 4 flex. How do I even break this down? Hey, the Wood. Hang tight while I answer these super chats real quick. All right, keep the mouth breathing.
Okay. Yep.
Mouth breathing to a minimum, or at least make it consistent so we can ignore it. Okay. Fields, Lamb, Barkley, Pierce, Lamb. I mean, this is a great team. I don't know what trades you can really make. It's not like you have anything on the bench. Package Pierce and Amon-Ra for a top 3 wide receiver. I don't know that I like that move for you. You've got 4 flex spots you got to worry about. Amon-Ra, he's not a top 3 wide receiver, but could he have cups of coffee with the top 3, top 5 wide receivers from time to time? And for that reason, I say, why trade him when you're giving up Pierce to do it? I just roll with what you got. I don't think I'd trade Pierce and Amon-Ra for 1 player. And that's the kind of deal you got to do to even get a deal done. Freiermuth and Higgins for Andrews or something I would consider strongly. But past that, I think I'm rolling with what you have. You have very, very good. You have a very good team, and it's very, very spread out and balanced. And I think you got players I like, so I'm not interested in really trading any of them to go get somebody else because I like them. So I'm going to tell you to stand down. No, thank you, Smitty, for your hard work. I also subscribe to your voicemail on Instagram voicemail group. Okay, appreciate you, Ozzy the Great, and I will DM me right now on IG so I have it fresh right there, and I will add you to the private group, and that's where you'll leave your voice messages. Ozzy, appreciate you to the moon, my guy. And the last question, and then I got the phone call here, so hang tight for me, Wood. 9-1, Herbert, Lawrence, D. Cook, Aaron Jones, Walker, Madison, Dillon, Adams, Pittman. Do I trade Jones and Dillon and Boyd for let's see, hold on. Do I trade Jones, Dillon, and Boyd and Mooney? For what? I don't know if you worded this right. Do I trade Jones, Dillon, and Boyd and Mooney? Are you saying for Boyd and Mooney? And the answer would be no. I don't know what you're asking here. Jaden, can you re-ask your question and put a bunch of like red question marks in it right now, and I'll find it in a second and I'll answer it, Jaden. So ask me that again if you could. What's up, Wood? What can I do for you?
Hey, I need some advice on which quarterback I should start this week, because I got Herbert and Fields, and I feel like Herbert might blow up because it's like against KC, it might be like a shootout, and plus I think he's getting.
So what's the question? You want to know if you should start Herbert over Fields?
Yeah.
Hold on one second. I just sent you on a lap. But hey, I don't I want to preface that Herbert's talented enough to outscore Fields. He truly is, but you can't defy the odds of momentum and probability in this context, bro. I mean, Fields is on fire. Are you really going to be able to walk through the hallway and look at yourself in the hallway mirror as you walk by every time you take a leak on Sunday when you break the seal, and you're looking at yourself going, what are you thinking, bro? What were you thinking? What did Herbert do to deserve this? And why did I do it? I'm not worthy of Fields. I'm just going to cut him as punishment to myself. You know what I mean? Like, if Herbert does outscore him, you're not going to walk by that mirror and go, you fool, what were you thinking? You know what I mean? You're going to be like, hey, you know, it was possible. We knew it was possible, but Fields was on a tear. But if you literally, like, sit Fields, you know, and watch this unfold the way that it's been unfolding, and you're like, I outthought myself. You know, like, you can't do it. You can't do it, Wood.
Okay.
You know, I mean, does anybody in the chat disagree with me? I don't think they will, the Wood. I think they're all going to agree with me on this, but please defend your argument if you would. And I don't mind differing opinions here. This is not right or wrong situation or territory. It's me frankly saying there's no logical reason that you would assume that Mike Williams and Keenan Allen will be 100% back to allow Herbert to earn this start over Fields. Could it become that 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now? Maybe, and we can play it by ear, but we certainly can't walk into this battle. Everyone's saying take a lap. We can't walk into this battle with the assumption that this is going to flip on us before it's ever even shown signs of flipping.
Okay. And then the other thing is I lost Cooper Kupp. I lost Cooper Kupp last week, and I currently need a receiver. Right now I have Herbert, Fields, and then I have Deshaun Watson. So, like, do you think I should try to trade, like, one of them away to try to upgrade my wide receiver? Or
Deshaun Watson or who?
I got Fields, Watson, and Herbert as my quarterback. So, like, they're taking up a lot of room on my bench.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Is your trade deadline this weekend?
I believe so.
Yeah, that sucks because Herbert would gain some value, I think, and then you'd be able to trade him. Right now, everyone's scared. Only you're not scared, bro. You're the only one that wants to start him over Fields, let alone trade for him. Watson's intriguing. Herbert will be intriguing to the right person. So go to a QB needy team. Try your best to upgrade your tight end into Mark Andrews, or if you've got a great tight end, that's fine. But try. Yeah, try to upgrade. Try and upgrade a wide receiver just a little bit using Herbert. Something like that, man. There's got to be a way you can take a Lamb and turn it into Adams by giving Herbert away. You almost want to give something that is such a good, amazing deal for the other person. Like when you're doing a deal like this where you're getting rid of a second quarterback, this is the one time where I could probably say with certainty that both of you will make out in the deal and the other person might be getting more value. And that's the only time where I feel very comfortable telling you to give more so that this person actually wins the deal. Because you're getting rid of a surplus. What?
Well, what I was going to try to do was kind of be strategic about it and go to somebody who has maybe a good wide receiver, but their record's not so good, so I might not have to face them in the playoffs.
No, stop overthinking it, the Wood. You're overthinking again. Yeah. You do a lot of overthinking in life, don't you? You do it. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you overthink things in life? Be honest.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, you overthink. I could tell, bro. This is Psych 101 right here, bro. I got a psych degree. You can't fool me. I got glasses on, but I still see everything. Okay, but what I'm gonna tell you here. Listen to this carefully. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry. You start looking across the street, you're gonna get hit by a car. Okay, you start worrying about where Bob's walking in the street, you're gonna get run over by a bus. Okay, your job's simple. You put the best players on the field and you win a championship and you bring home the money and you don't second guess putting it in the bank account. You just shove it right in there, bro. Okay, don't think about what do I do with it. So here's what you need to know. You need to make the other owner win this trade. Who cares who it is? You've got probably 2 or 3 options. You're going to get picky and fumble this until the trade deadline passes, and then you don't get a deal done because you were trying to pinpoint the right owner that wasn't going to face you, and you were going to not have to worry about facing Herbert. You got Fields. You're worried about facing Herbert when you have Fields going crazy and Watson there in relief if you need it. Here's what you do, the Wood. You go to the first QB needy team. I don't care if you're facing them or not. You go to the first QB needy team. And you say, bro, I will practically give you Herbert for free, and you're upgrading me just slightly. And maybe in your mind it's more than slightly, but perceived value-wise, it's slightly. And you're going to give this man Herbert almost for free because you have no other choice. You've got Watson on the bench. You're fine at backup quarterback. You need to upgrade your Lamb into Adams. You need to upgrade your Pierce into Walker, your Pierce into ETN. You need to upgrade. Who's your team? Give me your team real quick.
So my team's pretty good except for my wide receivers right now. So I've got, let me go pull it up. I've got, so other than the quarterbacks, I have Kadarius Toney, Brandon Cooks, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery.
Kadarius Toney, Brandon. I'm sorry. Say the wide receivers again.
Okay, so for receivers, I have Kadarius Toney and Brandon Cooks, and then I have Waddle, but he's on bye this week.
That's it. That's all you got.
For my running backs, I've got Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Brian Robinson, Kenneth Walker, Cordell Patterson, and Damian Pierce. Oh, and I have Rashard White, too. That's another thing. I have a lot of running backs.
Yeah, but you still can upgrade those. You made it sound like you had 5 JTs.
Yeah.
So you take Pierce, you take Jones, you upgrade into JT. That's a home run. You just give Herbert away. Now, that's more than that's a big bump. But I'm just saying, Aaron Jones or Pierce into a Walker or ETN, give away Herbert. Cordero Patterson, whatever, or you have Walker. So
I've got Walker.
Yeah, ETN. So Aaron Jones and Herbert for ETN, boom. JT. Aaron Jones and Herbert for JT, boom. Waddle for maybe. I mean, you could say Adams. Who's your tight end? You said Kelsey.
Yeah, I've got Kelsey.
Just keep going to each team, bro, and try and upgrade. Try and upgrade throwing Herbert in. The more you give the person, the more likely they're going to do it. So, like, you might have to narrow it down. You might be able to start big. You start asking for, Aaron Jones into JT, and they're like, I can't do that. But, like, at some point, you're just going to be like, is it an upgrade? Is it a significant upgrade in my mind? Here's Herbert. Give me the upgrade. Let me put it in my lineup and improve it. Because I'll be honest, your team is decent, but, it's Walker, Pierce, Aaron Jones, Kelsey, Waddle, and your quarterback is who again?
I got Fields, Herbert, and Watson.
Okay, so Fields, Waddle, Kelsey, Pierce, Aaron Jones, Walker. Your team's good, but one little maneuver and it could become great. So try and upgrade Pierce, try and upgrade Aaron Jones, try and upgrade Monty, try and upgrade C. Patterson. Give two of them if you need to, with Herbert to upgrade into a top dog JT. You get JT into the lineup with, let's say, Pierce and Walker, or Aaron Jones and Walker, and you keep Waddle, you keep Fields, and it's go time. And then Tony becomes your wide receiver too. Do you have to start 3 wide receivers?
No, I have 2 receivers in a flex spot.
Yeah. So Tony could be your guy.
Yeah. So do you think Tony and Waddle might be good going forward?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, why not? Roll it. Yeah. Roll with it. I like it. But just upgrade somewhere. I mean, I don't mind you upgrading Waddle into like Diggs or Adams with a Herbert tossing, but I would try and maybe get the running backs upgraded. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Later. I just looked into the Wood soul. He feels like he feels like he's been on my couch with his feet up, telling me his story. What's up, Smitty? Just subscribed to you on Instagram this morning. Wanted to run a team by you. How do you feel about leaving? How do we go about leaving voicemails? Traded Waddle away for Chubb and Mostert today. I'm okay with getting Chubb. Guilty, I called you out earlier because I saw this and I appreciated you dropping the super chat. $10 hauler. Appreciate you, my guy. Totally appreciate you. First of all, I called you out, said thank you, and then I told you what to do, so clearly you weren't here for it, so let me recap for you. DM me on Instagram, and what I'm going to do is reply to you, and I'm going to add you to a private group, and that's where you're going to drop the voicemails on the daily. Just hold down the microphone button, leave a message, and I go through all the voicemails. I just play them one after the other on the show. So that's how you're going to do it. Simple. So DM me on Instagram right now. Anybody else wants to do that, all you got to do is go to my Instagram, to my profile, The Fantasy Football Show on IG. There's a subscribe or subscription button. $4.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Try it for 1 month for $4.99. And you can leave voicemails for me. Just DM me after you subscribe, and I will put you in that voicemail group. So appreciate you, and I will do that. As for this trade, Chubb, give me Chubb. You did good. YouTube exclusive member, Farms, subscribe and appreciate you becoming a loyal member. Farms, thank you very much. Would you trade ETN, Chase for Adams and Taylor? What is this question here? Let's get to these supers here real quick. Would you trade ETN, Chase for Adams and Taylor? I would take Adams and JT and run. And this is coming from somebody that loves ETN more than anybody. But Jamar Chase is still a question mark. Jamar Chase is not a lock to even come back next week. So I would take Adams and I would take JT and I would run, Johnny. I would run as far away from the veto police as you possibly can get.
King 25, code 428. Dispatch veto Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25.
Just get out of there, bro. Get out of there. Do it live. Thank you, Guilty. I appreciate you, Guilty. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Have white too, says Jaden. Jaden, did Jaden ever reply to this? I think I was waiting on Jaden for this. Jaden, are you here? Let me search for Jaden. Jaden might have responded, but he didn't leave all the right information, so I didn't know how to give him advice. So I think I have to go look. Jaden, I'll go look for it. 12-team PPR: Dak, Watson, Henry, Chubb, Connor, Tyreek, Hopkins, Lamb, Mike Williams, Godwin, Freiermuth, Higbee. Any moves you should make? Dak, Watson. Is this? I don't see this as a super flex, so I'm going to assume it's a 1 QB. Henry, Chubb, Connor, Tyreek Hopkins is really good, bro. Lamb, Godwin, Freiermuth. The story of the day, go get Mark Andrews using Freiermuth. Throw in little players as you can and add a little more if you need to. Would I throw in Godwin with your wide receivers? I would. Godwin and Freiermuth for Mark Andrews would be the trade to get. Higbee and Godwin for Mark Andrews would be another move you can make. Throw in Mike Williams for free if you need to. Like, that's the move to make. Everything else on that team is straight fire. I think I like it. I don't know that I touch it. There's some teams that I don't want to mess with. Unless somebody comes and offers you a trade you can't refuse. $10 holler from Pokemon. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see. My team is Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, Hollywood, Eckler, Walker, Pat Freiermuth, Christian Watson. Tua guy wants Walker, sent me Chase and Foreman. I'm going to say no to that, bro. I like Jamar Chase, but I draft Walker ahead of him. And if Chase was healthy, we knew he was 100%, it would be even, but you can't know that. I don't care if you're 7-3. I'm not trading Walker in that situation. I'm just not doing it. Thank you, Pokemon. Appreciate you. And then let's see, is Wenzel, my guy. So why isn't this not coming out? Jaden. Okay, Jaden said trade Aaron Jones, Dillon, and Boyd for Diggs and Mooney. Thank you for clarifying, Jaden. I'm sorry it took me so long to find this. Aaron Jones, Dillon, and Boyd for Diggs and Mooney. What was the first one that you said? Because I swear it did not look like that. It was, do I trade Jones, Dillon, and Boyd and Mooney? Boyd, why is it? Yeah, that was, and Boyd. Aaron Jones, Dillon. Do I trade Aaron Jones, Dillon, and Boyd? Yeah, you forgot Diggs. That's why. Okay. I was wondering what was going on there. So thank you for clarifying. Aaron Jones, Dillon, and Boyd for Diggs and Mooney. I take Diggs and Mooney and I run. I run from the veto police. Get out of here, Wenzel. Get out of here. Go, 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 bro.
King 25, code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25 out.
Wenzel, you still here? I hope you got to hear that answer. I'm sorry it took so long. We hit 17K tonight because of all of you guys, says Terry Roberts, and Terry Roberts is not wrong. We're at 17,004. So appreciate every single one of you. And what were you there? Wenzel, you still here? 17K. Unbelievable. I knew it was going to happen on this live stream. I knew it was going to happen before Sunday games. You guys are absolutely amazing. Appreciate every single one of you. 200 of you still in the building. Let's do a couple more phone calls, then I'm out of here. You're not live. You hung up. Or I hung up on you, one way or the other. Super chats. Let's look for these. Hold on. Super chats. I think I'm caught up. Okay, good. If anybody's got another one to drop before I leave, go ahead and do so. I'm going to try and hit the chat as fast as I can, answering questions while the phone calls are coming in. We got another one right here. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, how you doing? It's Michael.
Hey, Michael. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I got offered a trade today. My deadline's tomorrow.
Okay.
And this dude offered me Eckler for my A.J. Brown and Kamara. And I know he's offering too much, but I do want Eckler on my team. Would it be possible to try to help me put together a trade to get Eckler?
Well, I mean, give me the rest of your team.
Okay. My quarterback is Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers are Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and Amon-Ra. My running backs are Kamara, Aaron Jones, who both have been kind of shaky for me past few weeks.
I mean, can you give him Aaron Jones? He has to have Kamara. I mean, I give him Aaron Jones and A.J. Brown for Eckler, but there's no way I'm giving him A.J. Brown and Kamara for Eckler. That's just too much.
I'm definitely not giving up Kamara, especially with A.J. Brown. But maybe I could possibly get away with A.J. Brown and Aaron Jones.
Yeah, and I don't know that he'll do that because it's hard to like Aaron Jones right now. But what other players does he have? If you did give him A.J. Brown and Kamara, what wide receiver can he add in that maybe?
I think his issue is that he doesn't have many like average receivers. He has just 2 good receivers and like really bad receivers. So he has Hopkins and CeeDee Lamb, and like it drops off to like Deontay Johnson and who's his other receiver? I think it's not good.
Who's his tight end?
My tight end Schultz. His tight end is Kittle.
Okay, who are your quarterbacks? Who do you have? Who does he have?
I have Mahomes, and he has.
Never mind. Yeah, bro, I wouldn't do this trade. I mean, Aaron Jones, sure. St. Brown and Aaron Jones, maybe I do that. But that's it. I'm not
on my bench. I have Pierce on my bench.
I mean, I'd trade Pierce and AJ Brown for Eckler maybe, but that's still hard to do. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. Which is I was thinking, because like it would be easier if you had like another, wide receiver 2 kind of player that he could add and make it even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean.
Thanks, Sick Nasty, for the help on getting people in here. Thank you, appreciate you, man. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the best advice I could give you right now, man. I mean, I like Eckler too. I would trade Kamara and something for Eckler, but name your team one more time as fast as you can.
Okay, so I have my quarterbacks Mahomes, receivers Jefferson, AJ Brown, St. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Tony. Those are all my receivers.
I mean,
running back Kamara.
What about Tony? What about Tony and Kamara for Eckler? Like, Tony's exciting right now. A lot of people want him. I mean, I'd maybe try that and just see what he says.
Okay.
If you really want Eckler that bad, I'm just trying to make your dream come true, bro. I'm not saying I absolutely love it, because I think Kamara is near as good, and who knows what Tony could be? He could be nothing, or he could be amazing.
Yeah,
all right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Next caller, you're live. Who am I talking to?
Oh, you're talking to Fitzy.
How you doing, Smitty?
Fitzy, what's up?
Fantasy.
Yeah? What can I do for you?
So I got this trade offer today. I don't know what you think about it. What your thoughts are. So it's Kenneth Walker for Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, and Tyler Boyd.
I don't even have to write that down. No, Walker. I like St. Brown, but you didn't tell me anybody that's closing that gap between St. Brown, who's probably a 3rd or 4th rounder. I don't even know. It could be a 3rd rounder, but let's say a 4th rounder to be safe. And you're talking about a top 7 overall player.
I'm just trying to find a wide receiver, because my wide receivers are Kadarius Toney, Sutton, Olave, Lazard, and Mike Williams. And I have Etienne and Walker and Jalen Hurts, but I really need that elite, guy.
Well, I mean, who you're running?
Maybe Kadarius Toney and Olave could be those guys. But
I think they're both pretty good. So who are your running backs and quarterback and tight end?
So my team is Jalen Hurts, Kadarius Toney, Cortland Sutton, Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, Zeke Elliott, Kittle, Olave, Lazard, Drake London, and Mike Williams.
You guys have been hearing me regurgitate this all night, so I apologize, but I beat a dead horse when I feel like that horse has legs, if that makes any sense. I would try very, very hard to get Andrews. I would say Kittle and Mike Williams might be something that's tempting to somebody. I don't get rid of Olave. I don't get rid of...
Mike Williams just got traded, and Andrews is on the number 1 team.
Well,
and they're not interested.
They're not? Okay. I think your running backs are great. You got Etienne and Walker. You got Tony and Olave, which are crafty, undervalued guys. You got Jalen Hurts. Who's your next best player after those guys?
I got Kittle, Mike Williams.
Yeah. I mean,
Pacheco.
It's a thin group, bro, but I don't know that you have many options.
I mean, I've been trying to deal Kittle and Olave all week, and nobody's biting on it.
Sick Nasty, you were able to super chat. I got it, bro. I just haven't got through them yet. But Sick Nasty, I did get your super chat, so I appreciate you. Look, your only options, bro, are to potentially trade like you're trying to do Walker and ETN on the high, but it's going to take somebody to overpay, and that's not overpaying. That's not even a good offer. Hurts is your only other potential sell high candidate. And if you were to trade Hurts, you'd have to get like a Herbert and hope that Herbert explodes and bounces back, and you'd have to get like a St. Brown type player in addition to make that worthwhile. Or like
I tried to trade Hurts for Herbert and T. Higgins, but the owner isn't even like interested in the league. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's the only thing I can tell you. Hurts for something. What's your record?
I'm 5-5. I'm on the outskirts.
Yeah, it's hard. I was gonna say you could maybe do like a Jamar Chase and their quarterback, or you pick up
I'm on
Watson.
the fringe right now. I traded Jamar Chase.
I mean,
fifth place.
Yeah. I mean, almost. I'm not gonna give you the promo code, but I would say like you need Tony and Olave to ball. Like
I need like Tony, Olave, and Mike Williams to like.
You need him to just
become guys.
Explode all over the field, bro. Dropping deuces left and right. You just need him scoring touchdowns, and it's scoring like top 12 wide receivers. And if you get that, then you're in the money. But I mean, it's kind of a fun gamble to take. Olave and Tony are exciting wide receivers if you're going to go on that journey. You know.
No.
So there's nothing you could do. You got to trade Hurts, man. You got to trade Hurts or get the right deal for Walker, and the right deal would be something like St. Brown and an Aaron Jones type of player, and you're willing to take that gamble on Aaron Jones. That's it. You get a deal like that, or you get a Hurts deal done, or you just ride it out. There's nothing else you can do, or use the promo code Smitty at Underdog Fantasy.
My team isn't that bad, but yeah, I get what you mean.
You let us be the judge of that. We hand out the promo codes, sir. It's not the other way around. You can't see straight. We have to tell you. This is like the impaired driver trying to decide whether he's good to go. We'll tell you what's up. We'll tell you if you need that promo code.
On the line.
Yeah, walk that fantasy line. Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, have a good night.
Later. Trying to decide whether he gets the promo code. All right, my team's not that bad yet. We'll decide if your team's that bad. Don't be trying to make decisions for us. We hand out promo codes over here. Okay? Johnny Bravo, he countered Henry, Chase for Adams, and JT. Henry, Chase for Adams, JT. I'm taking JT and Adams, bro. I like JT as much as I like Henry. I know that it's going to shock some people and probably make some people angry. But I do. I mean, I certainly understand the market that Henry, you command a lot more if you trade Henry for JT. I'm smart enough to use that to my advantage and trade Henry to get JT and a St. Brown, JT and something. I'm smart enough to know that. But in my mind, you come and try and trade me Henry for JT, and you think you're going to get one over on me and give me an injured player like Jamar Chase, who I love, but take my Adams away. No.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
And of course, you haven't been Smitty disapproved, Johnny. Just the trade itself, I'm not into that. Would you trade ETN Chase for Adams and Taylor? This is the same song and dance. Oh, would I trade ETN? So hold on. Are you trading? Let me see. I must have read this wrong. He countered Henry and Chase for Adams. If I'm getting Adams and JT, I want Adams and JT. So so you know where I stand on it. I don't know which side you're on. Would you trade ETN and Chase for Adams and Taylor? I would take Adams and Taylor. So Smitty, approve it if you're on that side. I might have it wrong as to what side you want. Can you wait for me to get my payment set up? I tipped and have a question for Yes, I will wait for you, Zach. I am heading out soon, but I will wait for you, bro. I'll wait until I see Zach's super chat come rolling through like a rolling thunder. Eckler, Knox, Jay Robinson, Olave for Diggs and Jamar Chase and Higbee. Eckler, Knox, James. Okay, I'm taking Eckler and Olave over Diggs and Chase. I know that might sound, maybe not. Hold on. You know what? I take Diggs and Chase. If you can wait on it. I don't know. I'm torn on that one. Because I like Olave so much, but can I get a chat vote on that one? We want Diggs and Chase, don't we? Assuming he can weather through a game or two of Chase being gone. We want Diggs and Chase, don't we? I mean, Eckler is amazing. He's probably the better player in the deal. But, or do we want Olave and Eckler? That's a tough one. I feel like I'm torn. I keep going back and forth on it. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think, guys? Carlton wants Dogs and Chase. Diggs and Chase, yeah. Diggs and Chase. I think you got it, bro. I think it is Diggs and Chase. At first I wanted to go Eckler and Olave, but I mean, if you can wait, Dogs and Chase. If you can wait, Chase the Diggs. Chase Dogs. Diggs and Chase, go. If you can wait on Chase, but Farms, you got to be willing to be able to. You got to be capable of waiting on Chase. You can't. Our super chat's working. They sure are. We're in the middle of it right now, my guy. Appreciate you. I have Sun God, Higgins, 4 wide receivers, running back Skywalker and Taylor. Okay. Boy, that's Higgins. What's your record, though? I mean, that's what I mean by wait. You know, Higgins and Sun God, Walker, Taylor, it's a great team. I mean, Eckler, Skywalker, JT, Higgins, Sun God, and Olave. Then again, Skywalker, JT, Diggs. I don't know, maybe the Eckler side. We're torn. We're a torn community on this one. Chris dropping the super. Chris, thank you. Appreciate you. Need 1 wide receiver and 2 running backs from the following. I'm going to say Cordero Patterson, Pollard, and Gabe Davis. So Gabe Davis is the wide receiver. I'm tempted to go Gus the Bus could get a touchdown and 40 yards, and they always seem to commit to him when he's in there. So he's a decent play, and he's kind of like you don't know what to expect, but you could definitely wouldn't be shocked if he did well. B. Robinson is looking tough, but not getting good yards per carry, but it's because of his offense. It's not because of him. But that's not going to help you if his offense is bad. Give me Cordero. I don't care about the bad week. I'm trusting in him. Give me Pollard. I don't care about Zeke. Zeke's still coming back. And give me Gabe Davis. That's a pretty easy one, Chris, in my mind anyway. In my mind, that's a pretty easy one. 2 QB trade. JT, Tannehill, Pickens for White and JJ. Rashad White and JJ. I mean, I'm taking JJ and Rashad White, I think. Yeah. I mean, I hate losing a QB, and I assume you probably need that as your second QB. If you don't, then who cares? But trade JT, Tannehill, and Pickens for JJ and White. I take JJ and White in a vacuum. 12-team PPR. Pollard, yeah. 12-team PPR Dynasty, early first, mid first, Debo for Evans, Olave, Lamar, early second. 12-team PPR dynasty, early first, mid first, Debo for Evans, Olave, Lamar. I only do this trade if you can win now. If you can win now and you're still getting good value. I mean, Olave, you could argue Olave is better than Debo in dynasty, and then a mid first and a early first and a mid first for Evans and Lamar. You could still argue that value. So even if you don't end up winning, that I probably do that if you can win now. I take all that talent over the picks if you can win now, but it is a tough question. Charles, you overslept, no problem. That's what replays are for, and we've been here for 3 hours and 15 minutes, which is crazy. Charles, we hit 17K tonight, as Sick Nasty said. Sick Nasty, appreciate you. Did I get Sick Nasty super chat up? I think I did. Sick Nasty, where's yours at? I could have swore you super chatted. I think you did. Maybe you didn't. I'm sorry, Sick Nasty. Maybe you didn't super chat. I thought you did. You're right. It's not going through, I guess. I thought I saw it. I'm sorry. I did. You guess you didn't super chat. My bad. So I guess you still have a problem. My bad. Thank you, Chris, for your super chat, my dude. Appreciate you all being here. Michael, 2QB trade, 10. Oh, I already got that one. Thank you, Michael, for your super chat. Bearded Steve, 12-team PPR dynasty, early first, mid first. Oh, I already did that one. Thank you, Bearded. Appreciate you. And then the most recent super chat was from my guy, Ricky. Ricky says, PPR Sutton or B-Rob this week. B-Rob. I don't trust Sutton. And B-Rob is decent this week. Smitty always coming in clutch. Thank you, my guy. KCM celebrating his 3 months on the YouTube exclusive membership. Appreciate you, my dude. Really, really appreciate you. Charles T. Appreciate you, man. I need one more between Mooney, Devontae Smith, or Swift. I go with Swift in this case. I mean, we're all worried about Swift, man. I mean, how can you not be? But when you're talking about this level of player, roll him out there. Take the risk. He's getting more work. He scored a touchdown last week. I'm rolling Swift out over Mooney and Devontae Smith. Mooney's okay. The only reason I asked today is the last day for trading in my league, and I'm going to try and send a last minute, see if I can get him. Like, hey, Sick Nasty, why don't you put it on credit, bro? I trust you. I mean, you don't even need to super chat in the future, but I figure you're going to get it worked out eventually. So why don't you just ask a question, and I'll search for your name and we'll get it taken care of. I'm about to leave, so ask me the question now, and I'll hit you. You deserve it. ETN plus Walker over CMC. Absolutely take both running backs over CMC. Send that Sick and let the chip come to you, says Zach. Sick Nasty, ask your question. Bearded Steve, Dynasty guys want Tony. What do I sell him for? Mark Andrews. ETN. Walker. JT. Sell him for the world, bro. I look for upgrades. Try and upgrade into those guys for real. I mean, try and take your good running back and turn him into Walker. Your good running back, turn him into whatever. Go trade for Breece Hall. Like, some people might get Breece Hall straight up for that because they're just like, I don't know if I want to wait on Breece Hall. He might not even be healthy. He might even be, and he might not be. We don't know how his rehab is going to go. It's still a ways away from knowing. But like, that's the kind of thing. Otherwise, man, you ride Tony out a week, let him blow up, and then you can sell him for more next week. And if you can't trade in that Dynasty League for a while, then you wait until next year and you sell them high. I don't know. But like Evans, straight up, sure. Things like that. K-Key. Smitty woke up. Have a good... Smitty just woke up. Have a good night. Going to start it from the beginning. Okay, K-Key. Appreciate you, man. We had some good laughs tonight, K-Key. Get ready to put your male diaper on and get ready to pee your pants. There's some laughable moments in this one. Corey in the house. Zach, appreciate you. Is Swift a good buy low? Pretty good buy low, my guy. Pretty good buy low. Definitely like a trade away if you own him. We're freaking out if we own them. We're buying them like a dirt cheap cellar dweller, people freaking out type prices. You know what I'm saying? Sick Nasty, where's your question? Depends on how low, but I think his value can get any lower. I would try to buy. Yep. Should I trade Devontae Smith for Debo? Yes, I would take Debo in a heartbeat, and that's doubting Debo quite a bit. KK says assignment understood. CMC for Walker and Eagles defense. I'd rather have CMC, and that's coming from a big Walker fan, but like I'm trying to get Walker and more. I'd rather have Walker than CMC if I'm getting like a St. Brown, a very, very nice additional piece, which you can ask for and you deserve. I can't get Andrews or Kelsey owners to pull the trigger on Swift Kmet Smith trade. Do you think Kmet and Njoku are enough? Fields, Swift, ETN, Kamara, C. Patterson, Mixon, Higgins, Waddle, D. Smith, Mooney, Watson. Do I think that Kmet and Njoku are enough? Yeah, Kmet's a good enough tight end to roll with, man. I wouldn't panic if you can't get a deal done. I don't think it's a big deal to roll with Kmet. I think Kmet's on fire. Look, it's no coincidence Kmet's been doing good the moment Fields started blowing up. Like, they go hand in hand, I think, right? Hit your like button on the way out the door, says Terry. We got 202 people in the building and only 152 thumbs up. Pretty shocking. We've had like 300 and 400 people in here all night on and off, and we only have 152 thumbs up. Quite strange. We have 17,005 subscribers. We did it, Mom. We did it. No problem, Zach. Says Zachary. Fields and Higgins for Hill. Have Lamar. Fields and Higgins for Hill. I suppose, yeah. That makes some good sense. All right, Sick Nasty. I waited as long as I could. You haven't asked the question. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Hit me in the comments, Sick Nasty. I'll look for it. I will see you all later. I'm live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Here are all my social handles. YouTube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. YouTube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. If you have not subscribed to the Dynasty channel yet, what are you doing? Let me drop it and pin it real quick so you guys can subscribe on the way out the door. We're trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers fast. And I'm going to pin it right now. Dynasty Fantasy Football. YouTube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. That's my Instagram. If you guys want to be a part of the voicemail crew, click the subscription button on my profile at Instagram. It's $4.99 a month, and you get in a private chat group where you can ask everybody questions all day long, and everybody helps each other. And I chime in multiple times per day. But on top of that, on top of said benefit, you also get to leave voicemails all day long in there, and I go and I play them and answer the voicemails and play the voicemails on the Monday through Friday show, or really any show. So if you want to be a part of that, do it live. My tiki-talkie right here, the Fantasy Football Show. Make sure you're listening and subscribing and liking, and I really would appreciate if you guys could give me a full star review on Spotify, and maybe a little bit of a nice little review. We're trying to grow that bad boy, and every episode for the most part is on Spotify. So if you like Spotify, you can watch it. I have one of the only fantasy football or sports video shows on Spotify. All of my podcasts, every single day I upload either the show that we had on YouTube or a different one. This offseason I'll do a lot of Spotify exclusive videos that you won't find on YouTube. Every show I have, every day, every single day is a video show on Spotify. So make sure you go subscribe over there. But I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight, which is this show right here. And tomorrow night, we'll do a midnight show around midnight Eastern. I'm live Sunday morning, half hour before kickoff of the morning games, that entire half hour, answering only your questions through the YouTube exclusive membership, those green names you see in the chat. On my main YouTube homepage, you can click the blue join button. There's also a link in the description of the video to become a YouTube exclusive member. And I'm live Sunday evening to go over the morning and afternoon games. So I'm live all the time. It's easier to tell you when I'm not live, to be honest with you. Neil, $10 holler. Love you, Smitty. Get some in and out tomorrow. I just joined the Dynasty League. Took over some guys' team, but it's a sleeper. I'll probably call you about it tomorrow. Anyways, good night, bro. Goat. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you, Neil. Neil is the man. Swavey, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in here. I think I've handled all the super chats. Nobody should be left empty-handed. Bearded Steve, I got to you. Charles, thank you guys all. Yep, we're handled. Neil, thank you. Bearded Steve, Charles T, Ricky B, Bearded Steve, Michael Vaughn, Chris Jizz. Thank you for your super chats. Farms, Johnny Not Bravo, Johnny Not Bravo. Thank you for your super chats. Pokemon, Rick, Guilty, Jaden, Jaden again, Ozzy the Great, Timothy, Clayton with a K, Just Get It Done, 4325, Avi, Double R, Johnny Not Bravo, Terry Roberts, Andy Murphy, Guilty, Avi, Adyant, I don't know how to say your name, T Brady, thank you though, Advent, Rocket 99, Maui Boy, That Boy, Blake Ward, Chris Young, Eric O, Iman 77, KCM, Terry Roberts, Avi, Mac, Hernandez with the $20 hauler, Payne, my boy Payne, Blake Ward again, Sam Lopez dropping, I believe the one of the gifted memberships as well. Zinsky, Mark Cleveland, Robbie F, Avi again, TMT with a $20 hauler, Castro, Sam Lopez, Mark Cleveland, Castro again. Appreciate all of you dropping your super chats and doing your thing here in the live chat. So you guys rock, absolutely amazing. Hit 17K today, 17K on the channel, unbelievable, amazing feeling. I work for you, so you tell me how it feels because you guys are a part of it. Keep spreading the word. I know some of you say, I don't want to tell anybody in my league, but there are so many ways to spread the word, and it feels good to watch the channel grow and know you were a part of it, right? So please take pride in that and tell somebody in an elevator that's wearing a jersey. Tell somebody on a street corner that's wearing a jersey. You're at the sports bar watching a game, or you're at Applebee's eating hors d'oeuvres, and you see somebody at the sports bar. Just tell them the Fantasy Football Show with a the. Don't forget the bro. The Fantasy Football Show. Let them know your name. Let them hear that you are popular on this show. Because I promise you, the more we grow, the more giveaways we have. You know what I mean? Like, as we've gotten bigger, as the show not gotten better, I promise you, every time we grow, we get better. There's more money for me to invest into the studio. Look, I built a studio because of how big we got right away from the start. It all gets invested back in, and it's amazing. This show has grown so. We gotta fix this in the background, by the way. We gotta fix this in the background. Okay, so we're at 17K. Unbelievable. 17K. We just changed this out. I don't know how long it's gonna take to swap that one out, but 17K. Unbelievable. 17K. Amazing feeling. Can you imagine when we get to 25K? That's gonna be a huge feat. But when we get to 100K, that's when I'm actually going to stop and realize this is where we're going to put it here. I've already got it set aside for the plaque. You know, once we get there, that's when I'm going to stop and take a moment to relish in it. Right now, it's just never stop moving. You know, but I am taking a moment here to thank you all. I'll see you all tomorrow evening unless news breaks. I go live whenever news breaks. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight. So tomorrow night, midnight Saturday, I will see you getting ready for the Start Bench Show. Appreciate you all. Now get out of here. Can't forget about you, Romario. I work for you. Drop Pickens for Mike Williams. I don't know. I like both of them about the same. Swavey, appreciate you. Pretty soon, 70K, going to be 170K. Won't that be a sight for sore eyes, Zachary? Terry Roberts, appreciate all your hard work all the time. Noah E. Smitty probably be vacationing a lot in the offseason. Boy, do you not know me. I don't ever vacation, bro. I'm live 365. We go on a vacation. I already told Miss Smitty I'm going live still Monday through Friday. She's like, wait a minute. We're going to go on a cruise and you're going to work? I'm like, what do I look like? What do I look like? Do I look like an a-hole? Of course I'm going to work. Monday through Friday, baby. ESPN should, what do you say? ESPN should hire me, and I don't want to work for ESPN. This is my job here, bro. This is going to be bigger than ESPN. This YouTube channel, hold on. Let me just clear something up. I appreciate that compliment. It's a very, very big compliment. I can't thank you enough for the way that you guys view me and view this. But this question here, or this comment here, ESPN should fire Matthew Berry and hire Smitty. First of all, I like Matthew Berry, so I don't want Matthew Berry. Anything happen to Matthew Berry. But he's no longer there. He's at NBC Sports, Roto World now. But here's the funny thing about this is I don't want this. Like, if ESPN hired me as a correspondent to come on twice a week in addition to what I do, like, hey, we'll pay you a hefty amount of money. You're so popular over on your big YouTube channel. Come over and do 2 spots a week for us. We'll give you a certain amount. Like, of course I would take that kind of gig, you know what I mean, on top of what I do. But I don't want to work for ESPN. I want this YouTube channel to be bigger than ESPN's channel. I have no visions of someone acquiring me. We acquire you, okay? We're the ones who knock, Zachary. No one comes knocking at our door. We are the ones who knock. So we will be bigger than ESPN. We will be bigger than all of these other channels that we think are going to come calling and asking us to be a part of their... No, it's not how it works, Zachary. Get ready for it, Zachary. We're here for it. You are him, Zachary. Terry is him. All of you are them. Let's do it. Appreciate you.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.